Bucks, a consistent trainer on the field.
Yeah, he doesn't step up much in the speed work, you know, but he doesn't need to. He's the only bloke that can break the start and get away with it.
He says his career is all about the pursuit of getting better, and he's led this team admirably so far this year. They're going for 8 straight. Here's Anthony Hudson.
They have done much better than expected, but they face a tough battle against the Crows, and there you go, straight into the thick of it, sends it forward to half forward. McCreary couldn't get the access. He was after Duday, and Hamill, dogged defender. Bianco getting an opportunity around the footy today. Pendlebury already, those subtle little steps. Found the space, found his teammate. Pies pressing early. Sidebottom's got there in the mix, but Jones is able to send it Adelaide's way to McHenry, who had just, well, he didn't have enough time. Maybe he had time, but not the space. Maynard sort of that.
Yeah, really good start, Braden Maynard, who let McHenry lead him to the ball, but then came forward, dropped that smother in just to hold the ball in the front half, which has been Collingwood's strength. Always pressure on the ball carrier.
Looking to hit back after last week. They were terribly disappointing. One of their worst performances of the year, particularly the opening quarter against Hawthorn. Matthew Nick said it extended further than just the first quarter when they reviewed it. Looked at it in more detail the second time. They were better in the third, keeping Hawthorn goalless. But there is pressure on Matthew Nicks as this rebuild continues for the Adelaide Crows. A real opportunity in greasy conditions to take it right up to Collingwood this afternoon.
Yeah, inside the first minute, Pendles has the first centre clearance, puts a handball into space and then lays a tackle.
And Matthew Nicks coaching from the boundary for the first time today.
So now the Pies, Lipinski to Dacos. That's Josh. Tumbles it inside 50 and Crouch is on the end of it. One of the great recruits so far this season, probably leading their best and fairest count. The former Swan, and he gets it to Hinge. Hinge goes long, and marking uncontested is Hamill. Looking to set it up. They need a quick start just to boost their confidence levels. Haven't had a win for 3 weeks. Hamill to half forward. Oh, the big spring and the big leap was from McAdam. Great to have him back in the side. Keys fighting hard and scrapping. McHenry tackled either side. Squirts out the back. Pendlebury's in there as well, putting his body on the line. McHenry can't go. Tex Walker tries. Hacked up there by Berry. Smothered. Emerging with the footy is Nick Dacos, and he's, look at that, as a decision maker to McCreary. Through the corridor they go, the Pies. Can they torch them on the turnover? Myercheck kick into space. Running onto it here is Hoskin Elliott. Wheels around on the left, and what a great tackle. That'll be rewarded from Brodie Smith. Got a Hoskin Elliott who bumbled it off his chest.
Yeah, well, they were playing checkers there, and they were ready to go over the top again to Jamie Elliott into the goal square, but fumbled mark and then a bit slow hand of foot.
Great part of their game. Ranked number 2 for pressure this year, Adelaide.
Smith, length on the kick to the wing. O'Brien a guiding hand. Berry, one of the real pluses with his determined style. #1 tackler in the AFL. Murphy getting an opportunity again after being the travelling emergency last week. McHenry can watch that go straight through. First goal of the Crows.
Isn't it fantastic when you get rewarded, Bucks? A chase down tackle down the other end through desperation. That's what Adelaide's shown the last 7 or 8 weeks, except for last week. And then you get rewarded straight away at the other end.
Just his 3rd goal for the year too, Lachlan Murphy.
Yeah, and he cut across really well into that handball, which gave him a central position to have that shot at goal or over the top to McHenry. But Adelaide already two forward forays, prepared to go long to the contest and then speed up off that.
They should have confidence to go forward, even though Darcy Moore is back into the team. Adelaide's got Tex Walker there, they've got Phil Thorpe and Fogarty, but also McAdam has a really strong aerial presence as well. So the key to Adelaide will be get their numbers at ground level to support that contest, which Murphy is one of those guys that's going to fall on his shoulders, that responsibility.
In the side for Jimmy Rowe, who starts as a sub for the Crows today. Ollie Henry's the sub for the Pies. Pendlebury getting involved, handballing straight to the opposition. Keys, nice little sidestep from Saligo, and he looks to hit up McAdam, couldn't take it in the air. Here's Walker, tries to sidestep his way through. Murphy, was he taken high? The umpire's not going to blow his whistle. Let's get down on the boundary, Mark Rasciuto. Root.
Yeah, Hutto, you're spot on about Matty Nicks. I've never seen him down on the bench in the first quarter. Bit of mail around that he wants a better bit of voice and better leadership by his players. I think he's going to see whether or not they do it first hand from the boundary line.
Can they keep it in play here? And Duday happy to see it over.
The Adelaide the Collingwood half forwards getting well up the ground. Elliott and McCreary especially. Even Mason Cox was up there that time.
Crows with the opening goal. First 5 minutes. Round 18. Been plenty of thrilling results and dramatic matches between these two sides over the years. When they came here last year, of course, Jamie Elliott kicked 6 goals. That's a free kick, and it's going to Laird. Fogarty directed him to kick to the front of the square, and he comes out full-chested. Wasn't far off. 2 Murphys, one from either side, and Lachlan almost kicked his second. And it dribbled through.
Sorry, Hutto, 2 good aerial contests. The last 2 long ones to half forward. One by McAdam, that one by Fogarty. And that's, or Fogarty, that's what they need.
Yep. Their mid-sizes need to do that because you can't just rely on your tools to do that aerial work.
So Nick Dacos with the kicking duties worked it to Noble. He would have had a tough week given the news with his dad over at Arden Street. Stripped of the ball, crisp. Little hack kick in there. Running on to it is Smith. Sees something he likes to a one-on-one contest. Fogarty almost the one-hander. Murphy's been busy. Kicked 2 goals 9 coming into this one this afternoon. Lockie Murphy, he's almost kicked 2 goals so far.
Craig McRae's down on the boundary line as well, so we've got both coaches on the bench.
It's been a trend across the comp, Roo, for the senior coaches to get down to the boundary, and maybe Nixie's just following on to see what he can find.
You wouldn't have went down in the wet, though, Bucks, would you?
Oh, if it was raining, definitely not, mate.
Nick Dacos, there's a little shove there on Hall, and he gets a free. Johnson, he gets a free kick in the back. He gets the hand pass across to Bianco, so they came the ground very quickly. And
that's just a little bit of pre-game nerves on the first gamer, and Bianco, who hasn't played at the level for a little while. Hard hands, hard handballs. It just takes time to settle into it.
As Johnson is from Halls Creek originally, and actually playing against his brother this afternoon, Shane McAdam. Mum's come to watch.
Seems like there's a lot of players from Halls Creek for such a small
Well, there
area.
is. It's a huge clan. Cal, you can tell us more about that in a moment, because it looks like it's going to be holding the ball. So the footy is in motion again.
Yeah, Ash Johnson's cousin is Jai Farah, plays for the Suns. Petrevsky Seaton at West Coast Eagles.
Geez, Matthew Nixby wrapped with their pressure early, the Adelaide Crows. A lot better than last week in the first half against Hawthorn.
Deep entry from Keys to the goals. But look at the numbers massing. Walker found a way. And that's why he's still an Adelaide Crow. Extended his contract during the week, and he is still a high-class forward, Taylor Walker. And what a start.
Yeah, and one of the reasons he is such a damaging player, I mean, he's a big unit. He always is dangerous in the air, but he gets to ground level quicker than most.
He does. He's fantastic. And on both feet as well, Bucks. And he's good with his hands. It's important to have all those skills as a key forward. He's able to keep his feet there. So, been impressed early with the Adelaide Crows' big forwards being able to make a strong aerial presence. The Adelaide tall forwards is definitely challenging the Collingwood defenders. Now, Moore has come back in, but they are flying and they're getting numbers that contest. They're looking vulnerable.
Well, it's 6 inside 50s to 4 to Adelaide, but it's 12 ground ball to 8. Now, that's where Collingwood have been really good. So Adelaide, to be able to be ahead on that stat is the reason the scoreboard looks as it does.
Young Josh Carmichael, the mid-season draft pick for Collingwood, straight into the middle.
He looked good last week too, I thought, on debut.
And Phil Thorpe into the ruck here. Up against Cameron. Cameron gets it down. And there he is. The youngster that we were just talking about, Carmichael. Cameron will be held in.
Just quickly, Cal, I like what he's doing with Riley Thilthorpe. Spending time in the ruck as part of his development. Yes, he's a key forward, but give him a run around early stage of his career.
Berry tries to flick it to his own advantage. Big ball to be won here, still in the centre. Scrapping on all fours, Bianco. Pendlebury asking the question. The umpire says no. So just lurching from stoppage to stoppage. Pies yet to trouble the score sheet. Thilthorpe tried to take it, the one-hander, and now Cameron's got him and Berry's got him as the rain starts to tumble at Adelaide Oval.
16 contested possessions to 10 is also a good sign for Adelaide. They're either winning it in the little circle or sticking those tackles.
Here goes Jones in a foot race. Unkind bounce, charging in there. was Paddy Parnell. And another ball up, Paddy Parnell. He's keeping Luke Brown out of this side at the moment for the Adelaide Crows. Philthorpe almost to his own advantage, and then a tackle by Pendlebury on Berry. And I'm going to hand it over to you, Hutto, because they're not moving very far at all at the moment.
Yeah, difficult conditions, which only emphasises what a terrific start this has been from the Crows. It's all go forward from Keys.
It's the first time I reckon I've ever seen Nick Dacos fumble.
I was just about to say the same thing. Right there and then, Bucks. The ball goes back to the wing. Hinge. Little hand pass to Dawson. He was contained last week with a direct tag. It just had the 15 disposals. Murphy out wide. O'Brien resting forward. He's in the square. He's the most substantial target. Joined by Fogarty. You can see Walker tucked away in the pocket. Fogarty comes up to the footy. Walker ducking in the back. But Fogarty has taken the mark despite the claims from Braden Maynard. And what a start this could be.
It was really interesting, the matchups there. Rusco was on Walker. Darcy Moore was on O'Brien, who, if they play O'Brien and Philthorpe in that role, well, then it's going to, if Moore is the one that's going to go to that, well, that's going to keep him deeper and out of these contests potentially. So tactically, a good move by the coach.
We saw that the last contest as well, where Taylor Walker kicked that goal. O'Brien was in that goal square.
17-7 for the season. We know what a beautiful kick he usually is for goal. And it was a fine thing in the end. It's through for their third.
It's good confidence builder. You can see his fingers there on his right hand, his ball drop hand. That's been affecting his ball drop. So had a badly damaged finger a few weeks ago, so obviously impacting his aerial contest, but also the ball drop. So that's important that he brings that to the table. Have a look at that. Riley O'Brien there in the goal square with Moore, keeping Moore deep, as Buck spoke about. There they are. Those he had a compound dislocation, I think, of one of those fingers.
Yeah, it was early against Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, came back out, and he wasn't quite sure about the flight path there as it went through for a goal, but it just got in.
Well, he wore the glove last week, but no glove this week. The compound dislocation of his finger a few weeks ago. He is in career best form, is Darcy Fogarty.
So Collingwood's capacity to get quick kicks and quick yards out of congestion has been a highlight in the last couple of months. Adelaide aren't even letting them get that.
Saligo taken high. He'll win a free kick. He's going to roll through that midfield after the big news at selection. They dropped Matt Crouch, former All-Australian. So exposing some youngsters. Cameron in front, couldn't take the mark. Rain tumbling now, quite heavy as McAdam flicks it out to McHenry. High ball, it's going to land at the top of the goal square. Tracking back was Walker, flying for it was Millerer. Slipped through his hands. And then Nick Dacos, as casual as you like, the teenager. Let's get down to Mark Rasciuto.
Nothing much to say other than it's very, very wet down here on the boundary line, guys. So it looks like it's going to be around all afternoon. They're talking about up to 8 mils of rain this afternoon. So nothing's going to change, I don't think, guys.
Camera to the front. And then Schonberg. And Craig McRae mentioned they've played in plenty of weather, but this is quite extreme, isn't it?
Well, they've been one of the best wet weather sides throughout the year, and they've their game plan and game style definitely lends itself to broken play and to wet weather footy.
Hard to grasp. Dacos just released it. Laird. Intensity from the Crows has been there to see for everyone so fast, just trying to hack it out of there. Again, they failed to clear it, and Laird pounced and wasn't far off the mark.
Yeah, it's much more like the Adelaide Crows we saw before last week, Hutto. So the previous 7 weeks they'd been very good form, only beaten late in games. Last week, really disappointing.
Darcy Moore tries to catch the Crows defenders napping. Went straight down the centre. Hinges a little sore. Collision there with Myercheck.
And if Brody Myercheck stays down, you know that he's sore.
So, Bucks, you mentioned before Pies and their wet weather form. Are they the best wet weather team in the comp?
Oh, I think they potentially could be. They love that chaos football going forward. They love the ground ball. They're not afraid to kick to space. They just haven't had any of it around the ball against Adelaide. They've been brilliant.
And so is this an advantage for the Pies today, or does it bring the Crows closer to them?
Funnily enough, I mean, the Crows have started really well, but I'd suggest that Collingwood won't be won't be distraught with the wet weather, and I think they can grind themselves back into the game through it.
The Crows player landed on Mychick's ankle, or lower leg.
Hinge.
Yeah, Hinge landed on it.
Just for the Crows, and Berry's already had 5 tackles and Keys 4, so they're 2, young midfielders that have been thrown in there and have been brilliant early in this game.
He's a tackling machine, isn't he, Berry?
Yes.
Guys, you can see Dawson there. He's hanging right out the back of the Adelaide defence at the moment, so just keep an eye on what that move is.
So this is Ash Johnson, the debutant. He's been told to play on handball. Good idea to the captain and the milestone man, although his handball has been bunted down and he applies a tackle. He gives away a free kick. Pendlebury rather wins the free kick, gives it off to the run of Dacos. He delivers deep. Ginnivan's down there. He's sniffing around. Flicked out the back. The Crows' defence under pressure now, really for the first time in this contest. Duday going to ground. Butts asks the question. Flicks around, it's pinballing. Pendlebury off to Dacos. The experience to the rookie who lines it up, Nick Dacos. Just when you think he couldn't get any better, he's got the opener on the board.
Pendlebury with 8 touches already, and he's controlling play. 1 kick and 7 handballs, but putting players into space. And on this occasion, it's Nick Dacos who's had 8 himself. To finish that goal with time and space. That's he's got a lot of elite qualities, but his capacity to sum it up. He gets past, sees this shepherd, and then takes that time just to steady and finish.
Spending time around the football again, like he did in that last quarter last week against North Melbourne. He really helped turn the tide in the Pies' favour.
What a player already out of the middle. After Collingwood has their first goal on the board, they've been beating at the contest so far. And that's helped give Adelaide the edge.
Back to the middle, guys. Coming back to the middle.
25-17 is the contested possession count at the moment in favour of Adelaide.
Touch, play on! Touch,
Lipinski
play on!
up and down on the spot. Carmichael, he couldn't get hold of it. A little bit of a territory gain for the Pies. Dawson took care of Lipinski and the footy. Murray's tucked under all of that. And we're going to have another ball up.
Interesting the role that side bottom's been asked to play at the moment. He's the highest forward and he's been caught in between. Bo McCreary's not going to take a backward step with anything he does. He's going to be a very physical player.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to keep Dawson busy, or keep Dawson accountable, isn't he, Bucks?
That was an interesting tackle attempt then from Parnell on Ginnivan. He didn't want to overcommit, and in the end it was just sort of held on for a moment, and then the ball moved out and went Adelaide's way. Cameron sends it forward. There they are again, Parnell and Ginnivan. This time the roles are reversed. The ball stripped and edged out to the wing. Rusco slapping it forward. Now side bottom. After a slow start to the air, he's been in stellar form. Kicks towards half forward. Duday puts paid to that. Elliott. And sliding through as Duday takes it to safety.
Yeah, it could be a deliberate tactic with side bottom. Sometimes you get inexperienced high forwards where experienced defenders can drop off. But even with side bottom's experience, he's been caught in between. Dawson hasn't had an impact at this point yet, though.
Here's side bottom looking to have an impact. Lipinski just throws it on the boot. A one-on-one contest. Duday goes to ground. A chance for Ash Johnson. In his very first game, he slaps the ground in disgust. He can hardly believe it. He's missed a sitter in the goal square. And his mum, Desley, she's made the 10-hour drive from Halls Gap to Darwin and then flown from Darwin to Adelaide to be here today to watch her 2 sons play. Ash Johnson, his first game for the Pies, and then her other son in Shane McAdam for the Crows.
Dawson out wide. Thilthorpe had to fly, but won't complain. Saligo looking more and more comfortable at the level. There is McAdam, as that's close to the line from Jones. Good tackling work there from Thilthorpe. Gets it over, and a bit of pain for Darcy Moore in a different spot.
Well, the conditions have lent themselves to inside work, and Collingwood have had 26 tackles to 23, so we're on 100 tackles.
He might have
each.
popped his finger there,
Yeah.
Darcy, I think. sorry, guys, to jump in. He looks like he's just dislocated a finger, maybe.
It was a good spot to do it, about a metre away from where the medical attention was. If there is a good spot to do it, of course. Adelaide by 13 to half forward. Equal numbers in the air. Mycheck crashed the pack. Side bottom had a metre on Hamill. That's the way it remains. Then he slipped over. That's not going to help. And Jones is able to pick it up for the Crows, and then Hope with the kick. Will Hoskin, Elliott takes the territory, and then some sending it forward. Slides away from Elliott, but's in attendance. Back to you, Roo.
Yeah, you just saw him grab his finger and cover it up, then he comes straight off. So not quite sure if it was dislocated or not, or whether they've put it back in, but that's what it looked like.
A little bit of sun trying to creep through, a sun shower. Mycheck improvised. Now Elliott had a look over his shoulder. Maybe tried to fool Butts in doing so. Carmichael, Elliott again. Saves off one. It was just starting to look like something special it was putting together. It's so hard to complete the play under these conditions. Still thought. Tackled successfully by Dacos. Laird. Murphy. Ginnivan with 3 surrounding. And it goes back over the line and out of bounds.
See Collingwood sort of kick to the corner a lot, to the grass in the pocket, prepared to hunt from there. That's why we see them in a lot of these deep forward 50 throw-in situations where they can just build pressure on the opposition defence.
Another injury here.
Riley Thilthorpe is just laying on his back. I don't know what's going on here, but nothing by the looks, actually.
Cramp early.
It looked like it was way too early for cramp.
Get the salt tablets out of his room.
Well, they get washed away.
So the Crows with the first 3. Here's a chance for the Pies. Keys picks it up, though. A dumping kick out of the defensive 50. Millerer. And then Rusco to centre half forward. Dawson couldn't control it. It's picked up in a hurried kick. Oh, Jamie Elliott put his body on the line mid-air there. Picked up by Mycheck. He has a snap around the corner. He might just bury this. It bounces truly, and it bounces through for a goal. Back-to-back goals for the Pies.
Starting to build some pressure now. Collingwood with territory. So now they're getting into their forward half. They didn't spend much time there in the first half of the quarter. Now they've evened up the inside 50s. An opportunist goal there by Mycheck. He looked like he was seriously injured earlier on in the quarter, but he's been able to bounce back. Jeez, his body's flying everywhere at the moment in this first quarter. But he was the one to stay down, recover, a good finish. He had a quiet day last week, probably the quietest game he's had for the year against North Melbourne. Nice to hit the board early.
Yeah, he's as tough as they come, and when he stays down, as I said, you know that he's hurt, but he just keeps going and doesn't need much of an invitation to have a snap at goal, and was able to find them on that occasion.
31st goal for the year, just 1 goal the last 2 weeks, in fact, but 3 bags of 4 this year. And so Collingwood have steadied with a couple of goals after Adelaide kicked the first 3. Berry took what was given to him. Murphy at least broke even, but then Hoskin Elliott sends it Chris' way. Out to the wing with time on his side. Could have a good long look into the 50 and targets Mycheck again. He got away from the close checking Murray, who last week had to go on to Lewis after he got away. He was kicking 5 goals in the first half against Hawthorn. Mycheck with a chance for a second goal here.
Geez, the pressure's been high from both teams early, hasn't it, Bucks? 31 to 25 the tackle count. I know it's a little bit wet, but they're extraordinary numbers.
They are, and there's still 6 minutes to play in the quarter.
He's played in 3 games at the Adelaide Oval for 3 wins, but he's only kicked 1 goal before today himself here. That one goes across the front, as you can see. Cox and coming hard, Johnson wasn't far off. A couple of near misses for him. Now Butts copping all the attention.
We've seen those tackle numbers at halftime, so not even at quarter time. But Collingwood just play such a relentless brand of forward football that the opposition need to be on all the time. And Adelaide have just dropped off a smidge, and it's given them a.
Oh, what was that side bottom? He's kicked a goal out of the ruck. He's done a lot in his career. I don't think he's ever done that before.
It's been a good move, Hutto. He's been playing on the wing this year, but they're putting forward strategically. I think this try and play on Dawson, or at least distract Dawson.
So it must have doing that. Bounce first, has it? Because you're not allowed to hit it until it hits the ground if you're not the ruckman.
And that would be something that Steele would be aware of.
So this has to hit the ground first if you're not the ruckman, and it did.
He's that was deliberate, and then he had to get past the Adelaide defender. He's such a smart player, and that's why he's in that role. He doesn't have to get a lot of touches today, but just impact, and he's doing that in the last 5 or 6.
So Laird with the centre bounce clearance for the Crows. They kicked the first 3. The Pies have hit back with the next 3. Good contest to start this one. Laird, Saligo only as far as no ball for the Pies. He drives it long to a one-on-one. There'll be a free kick here. It'll go against Elliott. Jamie Elliott with a mismatch there on Jordan Butts.
Now, Butts has been favoured against the best opposition forward for the majority of the year, tall or small.
So whoever the best player is, Butts goes to them.
He's been given first crack. Doesn't mean he finishes on them. He's still learning as a young player, but they definitely believe that he's got the capacity.
McAdam, they believe in him as well, although that kick lets Saligo down, and now he's in trouble. He's tackled to the ground. Ball to be won here on the wing. Going in hard was Dawson. He was taken high. Pendlebury, Berry wraps him up.
Great example of the first quarter, though. The pressure from both teams. Jordan Dawson's got one in the head.
Gee, the Adelaide medicos are going to be busy all the time.
Here's Nick Dacos pirouetting and then delivering, looking for Elliott on the end of it. Still a chance. Clever flick by Johnson. It was too clever. It was a throw.
He's been almost, hasn't he? A couple of handball errors, but getting the hands on the ball, and then the kick off the ground, and then that one there. And a chest mark in the goal square that he spilled. Like he's almost, but he's thereabouts.
So thereabouts was Mason Cox. Darcy Moore and now Bianco. They reload and go again. It's a 2-on-2. Waiting at the back was Jamie Elliott. Darcy Cameron, can he get a clean ball to Elliott? He does. Elliott breaks the tackle, brings it back inboard to Ginnivan. Ginnivan doesn't need much time and space. Oh, he's dropped the shoulder, and the umpire didn't blow the whistle. It's been one of the hot debates this week. You can hear the boos from the Pies fans that have made the trip over the border. Ginnivan goes again. He's set upon by 3 Crows players.
This happened a few times last week, Butts. He lowered his body height. So let's look at this example.
Would that have been paid in the first 6 rounds this year?
It probably would have been. Last week it was paid in the first half, but wasn't after half-time. So clearly the umpires were coached on that at half-time, and they've clearly been coached on it this week leading into the game about Jack Ginnivan's tactics.
Pinsky to the square. Dawson. This time Johnson. Yes! He was there or thereabouts. Now he's nailed it on debut. He's first, and they come from all corners.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? Because he's missed some opportunities early, especially that one from the goal square. He dribbled off the ground, hit the post, but that is fantastic. His family would be going off up in the crowd, his mother. They'd be absolutely loving it. What a great feeling. It took me about 10 weeks to get my first goal, Bucks. So it's nice to get off the duck early.
There's nothing like a first game, a first goal to get a team up and about either. So this is a really positive last 10 or 15 for Collingwood to have handled what Adelaide have thrown at them and then to bounce back.
And a great way to get it as well. He won the footy, outnumbered, and that time he made no mistake in front. 24 years of age. Ash Johnson, a Collingwood player, and now a goal kicker.
He's looked likely this first quarter. So now Collingwood's been able to arrest the territory battle. Have a look at this, 87% in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the game in their forward half.
They've kicked the last 4.
And here goes side bottom again. Clean in the wet. Handballs into space. Ginnivan and Parnell. It's going to be an intriguing contest all afternoon. And then Ginnivan tangles with Jones. Jones will get the free. And he'll get the 50-metre penalty. So it hasn't been the explosive burst of Ginnivan that we usually see. Jones sees something he likes down there. O'Brien put his body on the line. Walker was there as well. Hacking it off the ground was Carmichael, only as far as the Crows. Picked up and pumped back inside by Parnell into the pocket where Lockie Murphy is, and Fogarty as well, and Shane McAdam, the number 23, has probably been their best forward so far this season, McAdam.
Collingwood haven't done it with contested ball. They've done it with just forcing the ball forward and then winning contests, in their front half and being able to take their chances, just building that pressure. Crows still in the last 10 minutes up +4 in contested ball.
Pies protected the dangerous space pretty well that time. Dacos able to bring it away, but Adelaide, the game has changed significantly.
So on the back of great pressure as well by Collingwood, their tackling has been outstanding. 36 tackles in this first quarter. Been able to neutralise around the stoppages, starting to get that forward territory going.
With the highest quarter tackle tally this year has been 34, and we've got Crows who are behind in the tackle count on 30.
Yeah, Pies 36. Back to the wing, O'Brien.
The last quarter last week, they were awesome against North Melbourne with their pressure.
Side bottom edged it forward. As you can see, it was a fairly blind kick under the circumstances, but you never know what might happen. Hinge found that out quickly. Now it's a Rust kick out of there instead. And so Dacos has the mark, has the football, and has the decision. And he plays it short to Bianco, getting his opportunity for the 4th time this year. Still just 21 years of age, Trent Bianco. And Pies a kid. Goes short to Maynard. Fairly densely populated forward 50, as you would expect on a slow play. Cox in the middle there. McCreary buzzing around. Hinge, Cameron went to ground.
There's a little blue on with Brodie Smith and Jamie Elliott just off the play. There's 5 metres in front of the top of the goal square.
Elliott's on the move too. Unrestricted for a moment. Footy didn't go his way. Hard to get out of there. Carmichael. Now Jones put his head down and went straight into the tackle. He does get a free kick.
He does get a free kick, yeah.
This is where it's so difficult to adjudicate in the moment, but off to Dawson. Drives it up to the wing. Pies seemed to have the aerial superiority there, but it didn't amount to much. Murphy instead, not a great time to slip over for Rusco. Puts the pressure on Murphy. Fogarty fighting a one-man battle, and the numbers prevail. Rusco, Elliott, Pendlebury. Even he took a couple of moments to get sure hands on the footy. Last 30 seconds of a fascinating opening quarter at Adelaide Oval. Side bottom, who's been with Pendlebury for so many of those games. And now Duday plays escort. It's over the line.
Just look at how dominant Collingwood have been in the last 15 minutes, to be able to get back into the game, but only 5 points up. So Adelaide know that their front half game can work, but then they know that they have to maintain that rage, because if Collingwood get the front half game, they're going to score off that.
So it was a hot start by the Crows. The Pies have settled and they've hit back. Still a chance. 20 seconds to go. It was Dawson. A loose ball. Players slipping over. It's wet down there. Noble, desperation. Crisp. Noble goes again to centre half forward. Carmichael on the outside just waiting for it. He couldn't get it. Berry's kick smothered. Nick Dacos. And the siren will sound here to end a very entertaining opening term of AFL footy. It's the Pies with a 5-point lead, and they have laid 38 tackles in this opening term. Last night, St Kilda, in 4 quarters of football, laid 41 tackles. So Collingwood finding its feet after a slow start, and they lead it by 5 points. 4-1-25 to the...
But he's gone off, had a breather, and he's ready to start this second quarter with Adelaide 3-2-20, Collingwood 4-1-25.
Tackle, pressure, work rate. It's had it all so far. O'Brien, Berry going toe-to-toe with Pendlebury. Berry keeps his feet, tries to get away from Pendlebury. Not a holding the ball decision there. Squirts back to Laird. Berry, a fumble. Under pressure. This is the pressure that the guys were talking about at quarter time. Parnell, a little sidestep. Ginnivan wearing him like a glove. And now Crisp blindly kicks it forward. Awkward, having to get right down on his bootlaces with side bottom. Still he goes, still he goes. He plays for the free. The umpires put the whistle away to start this second term. Laird over the head of Walker, and it's skittled Thilthorpe, and waiting for it at the back was Moore to Crisp. He's got himself in a little bit of a pickle, Maynard rather. Holding the ball, play on advantage, into the pocket they go. Saligo, he's got Murphy for company. Still it stays in. Saligo, and now Howe, happy just to saunter, stroll over the boundary line.
You mentioned umpiring then, and I reckon it's been brilliantly umpired. To make this many decisions. We see here that was the tackle from the first quarter, and I think that was umpired really well. In the end, we look at this is one of the tougher games to umpire. There's so many decisions to make, whether you're blowing the whistle or not, and I think they're doing really well.
I think they should lose prior opportunity, though. If you lower your head...
That's in the rules.
No, you don't lose prior opportunity if you lower your head or duck your head. You only lose it if you drive your head.
If you contribute to the high contact.
So they need to, I think, tighten up that rule just to discourage guys lowering their body height to earn that high tackle, just because it's dangerous to the head for starters and it's challenging for the umpires.
Pies by 5, Adelaide in attack. Look how far O'Brien is behind with this boundary throw-in. In fact, he's not going. So Walker is in the ruck, and O'Brien, the ruckman, is only 10 metres away behind him. And that next line, there he is. The ball kicked out Parnell, who's got the job on Ginnivan today. And there's Taylor Walker. Could have landed anywhere, that footy, and it lands on the chest of the talisman up forward for the Adelaide Crows.
Interesting there, when a tall forward is in the ruck contest, the tall defender is somewhere sitting off him, because it's a tall forward versus Darcy Cameron, Walker versus Cameron. Cameron went and hunted the ball, but the forward didn't come up onto Taylor Walker and should have been in that contest. And I think it might have been Howie in that instance, Jeremy Howe. Needed to be up on him in that contest.
Kicked a terrific goal earlier off the ground, picked it up and snapped it. This time, it's a set shot, and the same result. His second. Crows back in front.
We've seen Tom Hawkins do that quite effectively. He's been one of the most dangerous ruckmen in the forward 50. You can see, trying to keep an eye out here on who it should be. Jeremy Howe just sort of dropping back there, thinking, anticipating for that intercept mark when it comes in a little bit longer. But that was a pressured rush kick, and the player that plays in front, whether you're a defender or a forward in these conditions, is going to be rewarded more often than not.
It's important to be accurate in the wet weather as well. So both teams have been accurate with their set shot. Fogarty kicked a great long shot in the first quarter as well.
It's an intriguing tug of war unfolding at Adelaide Oval. Cameron down to Elliott. A little stint in the midfield. Toe pokes it to his own advantage. Tries to go again mid-air. This is Dawson. Wrapping up Cameron. Jordan Dawson. Former Swan.
Hold the meter.
O'Brien and Cameron, neither can win at Keys. Effective. Although it comes the way of Maynard. Bombs it long. It's a one-on-one. Hoskin Elliott charging through, going without it was Laird, and the toe poke off the ground is going to land in the lap of Jordan Dawson.
Now Jordan Dawson's just sitting behind the play there. You can see that's why he marked, and he's been doing that a lot in general play. So try and keep an eye out to see who his man is, or if Collingwood's doing that at the other end.
Yeah, Roo, we think it might be still side bottom, and that might. I mean, that's a dangerous ploy by the Crows, but also it might be dangerous by Collingwood as well.
Well, you definitely want to have someone else matching up on side bottom, wouldn't you?
Rusco, as they try and shuffle their way forward. Johnson, Hamill and side bottom, and then a third arrives on the scene in Hoskin Elliott, just to make sure it wasn't going anywhere quickly. Adelaide by 1. Pies in attack. Cameron fending it forward. Hamill with a surge. He gets the high contact against Pendlebury.
They're a lot more conscious of side bottom now at the front of stoppages. There was a lot of pointing and directing by the Adelaide players around the stoppage end. There was about 3 Crows players pointing to steal side bottom.
He's really starting to look a threat in the air now, Thilthorpe. It's such a comfortable mark he took there. Sent it down to Walker, who wasn't far away. Just his third quarter last week against Hawthorn took 3 contested marks, Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on this. So Jeremy House has dropped off Taylor Walker here in this contest. He ends up sweeping the contest with Darcy Cameron in the ruck.
Free kick there, Hutto.
Crows by 1. Maynard out of it. Then sends it back to the wing. Johnson was still standing, so he was able to get access to get the kick. Mychek and Hinge didn't give an inch. Hinge prevailed in the end with a little bit of help from Durday, and the Crows haphazardly send it forward, but only as far as Darcy Cameron.
And that's what the forwards are going to do in conditions like that. They're going to predict it, don't they? Brownie as a key forward. Don't look for the good ball movement. Expect the hack kick out of a midfielder.
Lane Carey is one of the great wet weather forwards of all time because he played in front, especially in wet conditions.
Slippery, a couple of drop marks, a little casual by the Pies, although that wasn't casual, that tackle Maynard applied. Josh Dacos has got his brother wide, and he uses him.
Wasn't too bad in dry weather.
Yeah, he was pretty handy. He He just went to another level, but a lot of the time was because the ball dropped short. He was obviously magnificent with those chest marks.
So mark taken in row 2. Laird is going to go backwards. Rory Laird, he had 42 last week. His PB is 43. Brody Smith. He's going to go wide and keep it wide. Charging out, couldn't take the mark on the chest. It was a great spoil from behind. Good hustle defensively by the Pies. McHenry on the outside of the boot. Who's there? No one. Murphy traps it. Skies it. Tough one to juggle in the air. Spoil from behind from Dawson. Hacked off the ground by McHenry. Lacks a fortune playing in front. Thilthorpe with a set shot.
They're really tough conditions to defend. I mean, we talk about getting in front, and that's granted. But you play in front and the ball gets over the back of you and it's going to skid towards goal. So these are really tough conditions, and both sides at the moment, they're not trying to be pretty around the ball. They're just prepared to hack it forward and trust the contest in front of the ball.
These aren't easy kicks with these conditions here either, guys. It looks pretty straightforward, but pretty tricky kick.
7 is his favourite number. He wears the number 7. He was looking for his 7th goal of the season, but he's offline.
Unlucky.
Born on the 7th of the 7th. Playing his 8th game. There you go, nearly Hutto. 8th game this year.
Darcy Moore just missed the 1 week, which seemed absolutely amazing when the injury took place. Back up along the wing. O'Brien, you could see him from a fair way away, but in the end he was only there in a supporting role, and Murray able to bring it down. Highest of balls towards the goal square. Murphy.
Very similar to the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, Bucks, where Adelaide gained territory. They're able to get in deep. The big forwards are able to have an impact in the air, at least mark it or at least get it to ground.
Yeah, it's 7 inside 50s to 3, and they're definitely putting some pressure on the Pies' defence.
Pendlebury. Couldn't get it out. Laird, high ball. With the set, but unable to control it. Thilthorpe in the end. Howe, look away handball. Bianco, nice sidestep and good vision in traffic. Pendlebury, back to Howe. Now they've got some run about them, and this is where Collingwood can do the damage. Crisp to Elliott, and Elliott will go back and line up for his first of the afternoon. He booted 6 in this corresponding game at Adelaide Oval last year. He's going to play on quickly. Was that the right decision, Nathan Buckley?
Well, no, he didn't kick the goal, did he?
It's a good answer.
Nice. A good build-up, though, by Collingwood, because Jordan Dawson was the deepest again. But they negotiated that well. They waited for Jamie Elliott to break to find that uncontested mark inside 50.
So you're changing quickly. You're really becoming one of us now, Bucks.
Am I?
Making it up as you go.
I think we're calling quite well today.
Adelaide by 2.
Saw Trent Bianco with a little step, and he has got Pendlebury-like traits in that regard, and that's starting to come through more and more.
Saligo straddling the boundary to good effect. McHenry got through the first, but he had no idea that Bianco was coming for him a second time. Trying to seize his opportunity here, Trent Bianco.
He's been in and out a few times, and he's whether he can make the grade, it's going to depend on how consistently he can bring his strengths to the table.
Yeah, paying tribute to
He did that well.
Yeah, paying tribute to Pendlebury there. No man has had more balks since they've been recorded than Scott Pendlebury. A lot of trivia we brought out this week.
Did you make that up?
No, that's absolutely correct. Carmichael. Oh, Ginnivan with a run. Millerer was the obstacle. Saligo.
Has he had more balks than Darren Jarman?
Well, I don't know exactly when records started. I don't think they started way back there. McCreary. High ball. At the back, Cameron. Didn't need to use his hands. And he is a goal kicker as well as a ruckman. Fascination is going to be when Brodie Grundy returns, but what an impact he's had.
They do score well from forward half stoppages. Number 1 in the competition this year. The Pies, they're able to just knock it forward, just get the territory. They have even numbers forward of the ball, and their numbers turn up at ground level as well.
Good hands from Ginnivan.
So Darcy Cameron What a year he's having. He had the 22 goals from 18 games last year. This is his 16th goal playing in the ruck. Craig McRae spoke this week, Nathan, and he said that he's told Brodie Grundy when you come back, you'll be playing forward more often than not.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be either Cameron or Cox that, you know, may go out of the side. They seem to like the small players to hunt in the front half, but the side's playing pretty well as it is and winning.
Carmichael on the bottom of that pack.
It's the second time he's dove on it and been penalised. It's just a young player feeling the pressure a little bit.
So the kick looking for, but couldn't find a teammate. Miller is stripped of it, loses possession. It's holding the ball. Play on to advantage, says the umpire. So they're going to work it down the broadcast wing here. Crisp. Side bottom, lurking. Doesn't need much space. He's got plenty of it here, and he delivers beautifully to McCreary in the pocket.
Just class, you know, off with little time and space, the capacity to pick that up cleanly off ground level, and then size it up. And little 20-metre pass to a leading player. Great lead by McCreary to be able to provide that, and then the finish.
So Bo McCreary played for the Cove Cobras at Hallett Cove, about half an hour south of Adelaide Oval. This is his first game in his home state. He would savour this moment. Bo McCreary, the South Australian, puts through a major on Adelaide Oval.
He's like Collingwood's wild man, Bucks. Last week in the in the last quarter against Collingwood, I thought he was the key. Have a look at this. So Dawson's trying to get free himself up, but side bottom's hanging around the Dawson area, getting dangerous at ground level. Obviously one of the silkiest players in the competition, has been for a long time. So that's the chess game going on at the moment between Dawson, who Adelaide are trying to free up, and Steele Sidebottom, who's having an impact as a small forward. McCreary's last quarter, I thought he was the guy that ignited the Pies last week against North Melbourne. Like 27 points down three-quarter time. He just went crazy. Look at those numbers: 3 score involvements, a goal and 4 tackles.
His 10th goal for the season. The Pies out to a 10-point lead. Their highest of the match so far, to equal numbers forward. Sidebottom wasn't far away. It's batted Berry. Got a little clip, but he got a hand pass away. Dawson had to go by, well, he had to go by hand, and away comes Schonberg, disrupted O'Brien, and it's back in the maze of players. Miller found help back there, and Dawson again didn't have a chance to look, just kicked it quickly to the wing. Gliding through Fogarty, made a big impact, and now Saligo received from Walker, had a decision to make, and he went for goal despite Murphy, who makes it clear to everyone that he should have been kicked to.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about that vision and being able to sum it up. Nick Dacos going through the top of 50, sees the shepherd, takes an extra couple of steps. That vision is not easy to do when you're stepping up a level. So a young player, we can't just pin it on, hey, you should have pinned. I don't think he saw him. Yep. But if he had have, it clearly would have been an easy goal.
So Cox and Walker in the ruck. Shallow throw in, Walker to Fogarty. The left foot arrow is straight.
It's a great play there by Fogarty, and he's competed really well. He hasn't had a lot of touches in the game, but he's been able to bring the ball to ground and bring his teammates into it. That's his 3rd touch. He's had 2 shots on goal for 2 finishes, so that's a great scoreboard impact.
I think all their big forwards have, Bucks. They've all competed well, haven't they?
They haven't. I think we've seen Thilthorpe and O'Brien be involved in the play, if not in the contest.
Gee, no margin for error on that kick.
It's a great kick. He's got terrific skills. His kicking skills are brilliant for a big man.
One thing I'd like to look at half-time, a bit closer. Still Sidebottom hadn't had a touch at about the 15-minute mark of the first quarter when the Collingwood were 3 goals to zip down. He's had 10 touches since and been a pivotal part of their front half play, either kicking goals or setting them up.
Cox fisting it forward. He'll thought the follow-up, though, to Berry. Crows need to respond out of the middle, and Berry turned just at the right moment. Laird will give it back to Berry. Through centre half forward. It wasn't the best connection off the boot, but it's superbly trapped again by Fogarty. Giving them opportunity for Jones to try and return. In fact, it was McAdam to return the favour. Murray in a hurry on the way out. And the mark taken by Thilthorpe.
Centre bounce again, an issue there for the Pies. They're ranked last in the competition for giving up centre bounce clearances. This is how Adelaide build their game and get territory.
That was a great kick. Sorry, Root.
Oh, I was just going to say, this is going to be a very tough kick. I don't know what Tex will be thinking, because he's got the shelter of the big riverbank stand, but it's swirling around the air, so he might just ping it straight at the middle and hope it stays that way here. It's going to be a tricky one.
The Crows' intent's been brilliant, but just a little bit of polish with Berry and then Jones in that last bit of play. But Phil Thorpe creates this opportunity.
2 goals for Fogarty, and Taylor Walker looking for his third. It's not quite going to happen there, and it creeps over the line for a behind.
He needed the Tom Hawkinses there, just to bend it back.
So 8 minutes to play before half-time. Crows with the first 3. Pies hit back with the next 4. And now we're going goal for goal, and Phil Thorpe with the quick reply, and the big man doing what little men do.
Yeah, continues on his form from last week, Bucks, especially after half-time, Phil Thorpe.
Yeah, and there was, when he was dropped early in the year, the question was about his competitiveness. But we saw him, he took 3 contested marks late last week, didn't he? And showed, some of that fire. And like his little pass to Tex Walker, and then this, you're right, Kel, the big units. Darcy Cameron out of the air, and then another tall forward. You can't be one-dimensional in this modern game, and big fellas getting involved in the ground.
He's sharing the passion there with the fans too.
He's had more touches than anyone on the ground in the second quarter. At this stage, Riley Thorpe, he's had the 6 disposals, 3 inside 50s in the second quarter.
Suddenly the future can look very different when you've got a gun of his size and ability starting to mature before our very eyes.
We have to be very careful to judge young key forwards as well. They take a lot, probably the slowest position along with ruckman to develop. It's obviously such a physical position. It takes time in the gym.
He's a bit like Hugo Hagen, isn't he? Like he's just starting to show, and they were 1 and 2 in the draft.
Hinge guides it to centre half forward, and McAdam takes the chest mark, leaping in front of Moore. And the momentum swings in this game, significant in the first quarter, and now again in the second. This for 3 in a row.
Good signs for the Crows with the inside 50 kicks, which has been a challenge for them. That's their next stage of their development. Their midfielders, the lack of polish, so developing that part of their game. So good signs, the last 2 inside 50 entries.
Just a bit of a shout out to Sam Berry too. He's had 12 tackles, not even at half time. That's Brett Kirk type stuff.
We won't take any chances on McAdam, who rolled his ankle a couple of weeks ago. Didn't come back into the team until this week, and that's gone across the face for a behind.
Sam Berry had 18 tackles in a game against the Geelong Falcons in under-18s.
Well, I don't know. I think the record's around 19. I mean, he could easily have 20 tackles today. It'd be fascinating to keep an eye on.
And he's one of those young guns that they're exposing the kids in the midfield. With no Matt Crouch in this side today. Phil Thorpe somehow keeps it in play. Maynard, handball. Hitting Lipinski hard was Laird. And there's another tackle. Pies by 5 points at quarter time. Crows by 4. They're grinding this contest out, giving it everything. Ricochets here. Back with a hurried kick. Playing in front was Elliott, who'll win a free against Murray. Jamie gets it and wants to go. No, he's going to hold it back. So another foray forward here for the visitors. Using that centre corridor, getting up high with a big leap was the debutant in Johnson. We've heard he's very spring-heeled.
What about when the brothers would have come over, Ash Johnson and Shane McAdam? You wouldn't want to be a little defender in the backyard with those two jumping around, would you?
Schonberg set upon. Laird dispossessed. Phil Thorpe again. Miller up. Keeps it low. A bouncing ball. And Murphy gets there and sees it over.
The Crows are getting a forward goal side on fat side quite often. It'd be interesting to see. Put my coach's hat on, Hutto, behind the goals vision to see exactly how that's happening. But
Jim McAdam was
something falling apart there a little bit on the fat side for the defensive structures of Collingwood.
Fogarty standing on his own, forward of the ball. Collingwood late to get a match up.
Elliott and Maynard went about it the same way, with some success to get it to the wing. Elliott stripped that time. Keys quite get the connection he was after, so Rusco with a careful kick for Josh Dacos. But he couldn't take the mark, and so Hinge, full of indecision, made the right call, went to Walker, and now McAdam.
Well, out of whack. So what happened there back at the stoppage? Darcy Fogarty standing on his own 20 metres out from goal. So whether there was confusion with the interchange rotation, but Nick Dacos was left to try and run back and scramble and get onto Fogarty. Obviously, Collingwood defenders have scrambled. They didn't know who to pick up, whether it be McAdam or Fogarty. And obviously Walker was very good with his left foot kick.
So this time McAdam from close range can pop it through for the Adelaide Crows. And that is 3 in a row now.
I don't think you can undersell that finish by Taylor Walker. You can see Darcy Moore often drops off, but here Hinge,
Look at Fogarty too on his own.
Whether it's rotations, it's definitely not attitudinal. We know they're really strong defensive minded to roll back and get numbers around the contest, but potentially the weight of ball coming through the midfield through Adelaide clearances has given them these opportunities.
Spoke at quarter time about who can handle the conditions the best, and Josh Dacos, one of the highest skilled players in the competition, causing that fumble. Taylor Walker not only with the finish to give it to McAdam, but the one-handed take on the left hand was pretty exceptional in these conditions as well.
Sam Berry up to the 12 tackles. Bit of trivia for you, Nathan Buckley and Jonathan Brown. The most is 19. 3 players have done it previously.
Liberatore.
Correct.
Kirk.
No.
No.
Close. Teammate Bolton.
Bolton, yeah.
My check's just come off, just grabbing his right shoulder a little bit. I've been watching him for a while, and it's been happening throughout this quarter. He's decided to come off and get it checked out.
And Jack Zeeble. But in the AFLW, Ebony Marinoff's done it 21.
Wow.
21 tackles in pretty much half the time. So there's some concern for the Pies.
Yeah, there was a ground ball about 10 minutes ago where he looked like he got hurt. He just got crunched from the side, my check. So hopefully his collarbone or his AC joint is okay.
He's the Terminator. I wouldn't be worried if I was a Collingwood supporter.
Plenty of players getting crunched out there this afternoon. McCreary is a tough nut. Here he goes with the nude nut inside bottom, trying to keep it in play.
It's Dawson and side bottom again, opposed to each other.
Is that politically correct?
No.
Kel?
Sure.
You'll get cancelled.
Yeah, I'm on the boundary. Don't forget that, Kelly.
Sorry,
The
Roo,
nude
that's
nut.
the second time, isn't it?
And the Crows coach.
Adelaide by 10. O'Reilly to the front. Batted away by Pendlebury. Ginnivan coming in for the tackle, but the Crows just ahead of the game at the moment. A bit of a loose handball, though, from Key. Set up Saligo for a fall. Ginnivan turned it out to Pendlebury. Hacked and hoped. And Laird can round this up. Let's see if he can. Well, he can't. It's just so difficult at the moment with the extra weight on the football. Cameron back to Pendlebury. He went in for a bit of a lean and draws the high contact.
Hutto, you've been a Geelong supporter, haven't you? Joel Selwood, please.
Free kick downfield to Adelaide. Something's happened in the goal square.
He wasn't being critical, Nathan.
No, I know, but I suppose I'm bringing our off-air chats on air, aren't I?
Who you are. Discipline, please. Berry off half back to half forward. 2 against 1. And Rusco made a difference with the spoil. Howe towards the line. And it goes over and out.
Adelaide are doing really well at getting the extra number to the contest at the moment, which is pretty hard to do against Collingwood because they love to do that. You can just see Mason Cox throwing Murray to the ground there, which caused that reversal. That's Coach Kelly. You hate to see that.
3.5 to go in this second quarter. Cameron physical, got the tap down. Jones, Berry, the scramble is on. Once the bodies start to pile up, it's almost impossible to get it clear.
So it's been a tough afternoon for Brodie Mychek. Big hit in that first term, and now the second quarter is off. Here's a chance. Rusco through the centre of the ground they go. Johnson, the debutant, in the number 40, but Elliott gets there first with a burst, and he's going to handball over the top, a 20-metre handball to Ginnivan, who can add the finishing. Touches not quite. Scrambles through for a behind. Cheeky grin from the footy pest.
He knows how to find the goals. He's generally a surgeon in those situations, so that wouldn't have missed by much, I would have thought.
Dawson tucks it into the back pocket.
Outside 5.
Jones.
Play on.
4 goals forward, a 2-2 for the term in favour of the Crows. Who kicked, for the leap from Fogarty. Took a big grab a few weeks ago.
Had an impact the big forwards today for the Crows. All three, or all four of them include O'Brien, Fogarty, Walker and Thilthorpe as well. They haven't allowed the intercept marks for the Collingwood defenders. They've only taken the one so far today, so far in this quarter. It's obviously wet conditions, but that's a strength of their game.
Adelaide with the last 3 goals of the game.
One of the things that Adelaide have done well is take full toll of their inside 50s. They've scored 13 times from 23 entries, so they're on top of the Collingwood back 6 at the moment.
Yanko squeezed a handball out, side bottom denied. Soligo doing some heavy work. Henry flicks it back. Schonberg, ball just pinging around. It goes Collingwood's way to centre half forward. Johnson turns tackler, lays out Duday. Carmichael with the soccer. Parnell creative to Keys. And now McAdam. He's got him behind Maynard, but he couldn't take it cleanly, so pushed back for the moment. Penned in so well by Maynard and helped to win it back with assistance from Hoskin Elliott. And then Noble set Dacos away, and they can stream to half forward. Johnson showing his aerial prowess. Under 2 to go in the second quarter. He goes long to Elliott on the chest. And that's how he likes it on a lead.
Collingwood able to hit a couple of targets, and Ash Johnson made that look easy. That was a really tough mark. Admittedly, Nick Dacos gave him a pretty good opportunity to attack it, but at highest point, and then to be able to turn around and hit this one. You know, two hit targets. Finally, you get an opportunity at goal. It's just the cleanliness when you get your chances that's going to make the difference.
I mentioned that 6 goals last year at this venue against the Crows. I've watched him closely this afternoon, and so far he hasn't had much impact at all, and he'll be disappointed with that because they've given up the last 3 goals. So frustrating times for Craig McRae.
But that was just a kick there that when you don't know really what to do with the conditions. It was a real hit and hope. It was bad technique by Jamie. He's much better than that, but that's what happens in these conditions.
Oh, Fogarty again. Slowly, not so slowly really, in the last 6 weeks, transforming into a real player at this level. Real weapon. Off to Dawson. To half forward. Under a minute now. Too tall for McHenry, but a little bit of indecision and uncertainty amongst the Pies defenders as not so much to take possession, but what to do with it next. As Rusco was captured by Walker.
That was Crow's 59th tackle. Collingwood 62. It's a high pressure footy inside.
Cameron. Walker didn't panic. He nutmegged O'Brien. I don't think that was the plan. Pendlebury tries to put it on a path to goal. Attack forward. Murray in the right spot to defend. Hamill, you can see what he was trying to do, but so could McCreary. That was the problem. Schonberg could have paid advantage potentially there, but umpire wasn't certain that it would have been a distinctive advantage. So it comes back, and it's going to be Chase Jones's ball. Plays it to Schonberg anyway. 20 seconds. There's time enough if the Crows can take a mark or get a quick ground ball. And it's not paid to Soligo. He had his claims and he's arguing his case, even though he knows it's fruitless.
Look, the slow-mo might show us it's a grab, but it's pretty hard to pick as the
Cut back in the goal square on how the ball happens to go that way. It looks like McCreary will be able to stave off what might have been a late charge from the Crows. But the Pies are on the back foot as the siren sounds. They conceded the first 3 goals of the game, got in front by quarter time, but the second term belonged to the Adelaide Crows. And so as Collingwood try to make it 8 wins in a row, they're going to have to come from behind in Scott Pendlebury's 3.
They can continue it for the second half.
And there he is with the rain tumbling down. Third quarter about to get underway. Collingwood 6 wins under 12 points and 1 loss. They also had 2 games they lost by 13 points as well. So they'll know the circumstances they find themselves in as this third term gets underway at the Adelaide Oval. Keys was about to let fly, and he took care not to give away the free kick and also of his opponent in Josh Dacos. But Fogarty able to give the hand pass. Cameron onto it smartly. Sidebottom tries to track it back through the air. Got a fist to it at least, only as far as Dawson. Made do with what was there. An inverted torpedo. Found its way to the juggling Saligo. Moore. And then McAdam and Maynard join the crush. Fogarty, as the umpire keeps it going. What an important hand from Walker. And Murphy put the finishing touches on it. Crows out of the blocks again at the start of a quarter.
Yeah, they picked off or kicked off where they finished at the end of the second quarter, but their start to the first and second and now the third has been exceptional. As we see here, Nathan Murphy, he goes back without a care for his own safety.
Probably should have been a free kick. I'm not sure whether Taylor Walker was nudged into him, but to me that looked like he was taking him out off the ball. Steel side bottom gone. There's Murphy, the goal kicker. Two for the game. Steel side bottom gone back to the wing.
Looks like
now Bucks. So a structural change for the Pies.
4 of the last goals in this contest, the last 4, the Adelaide Crows, bracketed by that half-time break.
That was Adelaide's 5th goal from a front half turnover, from 15 front half turnovers. Collingwood only 2 from 17. So that's the difference in the game at the moment. Adelaide being able to turn the ball over in their front half and go back and score.
Sidebottom in the thick of it. He gets the kick, looking for Myercheck. This is the debutant picking it up. Johnson feeding it, and eventually it works its way to Ginnivan in the pocket, who's had a quiet afternoon by his standards so far.
I think he's 12 from snapshots this season, so he's going all right. You'd want to get on here.
This will test him out in the long sleeves with the rain tumbling. The peroxide blonde hair in his eyes. Off a couple of steps. He's all class, Jack Ginnivan. He was never going to miss that one, and there is the quick reply.
Yeah, it looked automatic, didn't it? He's got a very good routine in that regard. He's got the confidence and the belief in himself that he's going to be able to finish. So nice little hit up there. Dode, not normally the deepest defender and doesn't like playing against hit-up players. Loves to float across and take intercept marks himself. But yeah, great finish. Yeah, took the breather and did the job.
Can have a big impact in a short period of time.
Looks like Sidebottom's gone to a wing too, guys.
Out of the middle. Which way will it go this time? O'Brien had the necessary time and space to nudge it forward. Dacos with Sidebottom there in support. Oh, he had wider option in Howe, which he used just a half forward. Cameron had 2 to contend with. Hamill, Ginnivan, Cameron again. Smith overran it, allowed Myercheck to edge it forward. Suddenly Collingwood have the run of play, but well controlled and good calm response from Butts. Got up and under it a little bit. The kick goes back. There's a bit of hanging on there against O'Brien. Fair to say that's not how he saw it. Darcy Cameron. Crows getting plenty of numbers back to defend as strongly as they can. In the air was Butts. The ground it's Duday. And then Smith. Always high up for metres gained. Cameron again against O'Brien. Defends successfully this time. McHenry had no one to handball to. Ended up flinging it to Dacos. Back to Pendlebury. The entry into the 50 wasn't far off Ginnivan, the target. Johnson again. Strong enough of body and mind to get the handball to Elliott. Hasn't had things his own way today. Johnson went back for a second time. Tackles are laid. Balls are hacked. Berry, the mark not paid. Had to react. And he found Jones. Bit of a release valve for the Crows. See if they can maintain possession through McHenry.
They have held up relatively well, the Crows' defence. 31 inside 50s for Collingwood for 10 shots a goal.
Darcy Moore with the spoil. Fresh air for the toe poke there was Walker, but the Crows have still got it. Fogarty or Jones caught. jumping and pouncing on it with side bottom to Ginnivan. This is trouble here for the Adelaide Crows. Wants to use the corridor. Unkind bounce for Pendlebury. Eventually, just as cool as a cucumber, he gets the toe poke away. He's never ever flustered Pendlebury, but he might have coughed it up here. They're mucking around with it, the Pies. In the wet conditions, they can't control it. Nick Dacos, does he win a free? He does.
No, they completely stuffed that up. McCreary was on his own for a long period of time. Forward of the ball.
Another dropped mark. Lipinski this time. And just a casual start to the Pies to start this third term.
Yeah, well, I think it's easy in our land rooms or watching, from this side of the fence. It's clearly really windy. It's clearly really slippery, but you still expect AFL level players to be able to execute these skills. But there's high pressure and the conditions are challenging.
Ginnivan does well to shovel it out to Lipinski. Tosses it on his boot. It's going to favour Elliott. He fakes one way. He turns. He spins. He delivers, looking for Myercheck, and he's going to win a free kick against Murray. Yep, too high. All over him.
Left arm over the shoulder, and it was a solid defensive effort, but for that, and the Crows have been able to defend quite well, as you mentioned, Brandy. But on this occasion, just that one-on-one contest, great effort to cut off there, but just that incidental high contact, which technically is there.
Arguably the most no-fuss football player in the AFL, Myercheck. Couple of big hits this afternoon. He's still standing. He's tough. One in the first, one in the third. He's got a couple.
Yeah, there's some guys that just keep going, and Brodie Myercheck is one of those players, one of the toughest players in the competition at present.
It's a great competitor, Bucks.
Mate, he got overlooked for 7 or 8 drafts as a key defender.
8.
And then got his opportunity to come in. We needed someone to go forward and give us a contest. He kicked 4, and then he hasn't looked back. So he's been brilliant for the club throughout his duration.
It wasn't a guess. I've got it written down on my notes.
Oh, well done.
He gave me a look as if...
I love correcting the ex-Collingwood coach.
I got it half right.
Stick to your guns. He's been a good challenge today against our Murray. So Murray and Butt's the future of the Adelaide defenders, the key defenders, along with Duday. It's been a good battle.
Momentum swings continue at the Adelaide Oval. 3 goals at the start for the Crows. Pies responded with 4. Crows had another run of 4 on the other side of half-time. Now a couple in a row for Collingwood. Can they build on that? Cox the ruck work. Berry couldn't get the right purchase on the kick. Josh Dacos decided not to take possession, but swarming was Hamill to Miller. Hasn't had a big impact yet. Hamill, good overlap run. Probing ball. Phil Thorpe. Sound technique. Took the chest mark when he can.
Great run by Hamill. So he's playing on Ginnivan. He took off. He needs to keep Ginnivan honest, who's obviously wanting to get dangerous in the forward half. But Hamill ran off half back. He continued on. He received the handball back, and a good finish there. Ginnivan was in his wake.
Already up to 10 disposals, has a goal to his name. And he hasn't quite got the right amount of torque on that one to bring it back. But it's just so promising for Adelaide in their future to see Riley Thilthorpe's development. As Dacos brings it back into play, the margin is 4.
Maynard wedged it over the top. Murphy. Sets his intentions, going long towards Cox and over the head of the Adelaide Crows ruckman, Schonberg now. And now to Smith. Kicks, blazes away, and Nick Dacos seems to cover every blade of grass every time he plays, and he kicks to his brother. Nick to Josh. Josh to Jack. Jack Ginnivan in the air. Couldn't do it at ground level. Can side bottom. He swung around in a 360. Umpire says play on. Miller tries the fend off. But he's set upon by 2 Collingwood players.
If you choose to fend, I can see how that free kick is paid. But Steele was probably lucky just before that as well.
Chris playing his 180th consecutive game. The most of any player in the AFL at the moment. Side bottom tackling Bucks.
One of the great set of steak knives, Cal.
Yeah.
Jack Crisp.
Still about 3 years away from getting anywhere near Jim Stein's consecutive games, but
244 is Jim.
If the Japanese made steak knives, that's what he'd be.
Berry. Sure hands and then got the ball out there. And there's Thilthorpe again.
Promising Henry.
Yeah, as you talked about, Brownie playing in the ruck seems to have really helped him. Getting more of the footy up the ground.
Surprised it doesn't happen more. Saw last night it was very difficult for Max King. The ball wasn't coming down there. It's great to see younger key forwards have a run around the ruck.
McAdam to half forward and actually taken by Maynard. Our old colleague Robert Walls always used to love that. Give him a run in the ruck.
He did, didn't he?
I think some coaches might have got frustrated by it at times.
Yeah.
Lipinski.
I got clipped for it last year by Damien Hardwick suggesting Tom Lynch should do it.
Fox gets it forward. Elliott fires out the handball. Carmichael came close last week. He's inside the 9. There's pressure around, so he's very much allowed to do that, Murray.
I was in the commentary box, radio commentary box, Brownie, with Mick Malthouse last night. He said that at three-quarter time. Give him a run in the ruck, and they didn't.
Can't underestimate how difficult it is, especially with modern defences now, Cal. They're so good at getting extra numbers back and working zoning defence. Quite often you're competing against 2 and 3 defenders. Very difficult when you're
Dawson.
You're not at your physical maximum when it comes to strength.
Well, we've been talking about the tackle stats. So what's it, 78 tackles to 66.
McAdam just grabbing his ankle here, guys, just hobbling off a little bit.
Both sides have only taken 26 marks total for the game. So 26 marks all for the game. You just haven't seen any controlled play.
That's a worry for the Adelaide Crows. He was coming back from an ankle complaint that he suffered against North Melbourne. There's the move, the trademark Ginnivan move, and once again the whistle goes away. Crows under the pump. Keys. O'Brien had to get down really low for a big man, and then Saligo. That was well-weighted pass. Good vision under the pump. Walker can send it right on the arc. Spoil from behind from Murphy. Fogarty takes off after it. And now Hoskin Elliott mops up. Darcy Moore shanks the kick, but it might come off here. Bianco swoops on the left. Sends it into the pocket. Ginnivan going to ground was Myercheck's direct opponent, and then Myercheck goes to ground. Here's a chance for Elliott. Flicks it through his legs. But the Adelaide Crows, Ruckman O'Brien was there to Butts, who just monsters that out of the danger zone. Yeah, Smith. He was outnumbered, wasn't he? And somehow he was able to get the win by getting it over the boundary line.
Yeah, the 1v2, the outnumbered contests and their goal, to be able to halve that contest and give him a chance. Ginnivan there tried to go low, but Butts, that's good tackle technique.
Yeah,
decided, tried to get low, but then in effect did not get him high.
Crisp ran into, but just got away from Schonberg. Bianco put the early fake on with the eyes. It was effective enough. Side bottom around the corner, equal numbers at the footy. Cameron, late claims, then Jones, brilliantly captured by Hoskin Elliott. Shows enough to the umpire.
Just wonder, Bucks, whether after half-time the adjustment's been made with Collingwood forwards. They're not going as high up into the stoppage to allow Dawson to drop off as that spare. They seem to be holding more as a forward 6.
We've got Hoskin Elliott, who's obviously an experienced forward who's currently matched up on Dawson, and Sidebottom's gone back forward with Bianco in rotations going back to that wing. So probably just taking some game time steal at the start of this third quarter to help Bianco through the contest.
Chase Jones looking for a free there with Sidebottom's arm wrapped around his neck. Bianco got taken out by Jones. Thrashed to the ground. It's a physical contest. Very close for the faint-hearted this afternoon at the Adelaide Oval. And some have done it with a smile. Schonberg seems to thrive on that sort of stuff. Bianco takes the moment to get a breath or two back, which he needs.
Big hit there by Chase Jones. It's been good today. Good signs of young midfielders for Adelaide. The next stage, Keys 15, Jones 14, Berry 14 and Saligo 12 disposals.
Keys around his body, but Moore's there to mop up. Looks like this one is going the distance. The biggest lead for the Crows was 20 points at the 14-minute mark of that opening term. And the biggest lead for the Pies was 10 points in the second quarter. Just 3 points in it at the moment. And a scrap on in the centre of the ground. Crisp fires it out, clever by Sidebottom. It'll sit here for Bianco. Goes back to Nick Dacos. Sidebottom goes one way, wheels around. He's putting on almost a masterclass here this afternoon. Sidebottom got himself out of trouble there momentarily. Rusco just bombs it long. Spoil from Darcy in the end. Here's a chance for Ginnivan, but he's beaten to the ball by Paddy Parnell.
Collingwood taking just 5 intercept marks today. Adelaide give up 18 a game and as 18th in the competition. So they've done well, their forwards, to be able to compete and bring the ball to ground.
Phil Thorpe buried off the ground. Is that deliberate?
They controlled the airways, haven't they, Bucks? Adelaide's taken 5 contested marks. The Pies having trouble to score, and that's that today. It's been a real strength of the Crows game.
2 goals to 1 in the Pies' advantage in this all-important third term. The long bomb, Cox was there, so too Cameron. Here's a chance for Ginnivan. He flicks it out and hacking it out of there. It's going to land in the pocket. Check couldn't get there. And Parnell happy to take it up to Ginnivan. Bit of jumper pulling. Frustrations just bubbling over. He's like a teapot at the moment, Ginnivan. Oh, he's copped a boot to the head from his teammate in Hoskin Elliott. And this game is on tenterhooks at the moment.
Has there been a more polarising player in his first season than Jack Ginnivan?
How did Ballantyne go?
Yeah.
We help with that. The media help with that, don't they?
So Dacos, this is Josh firing it back in. Well done by Carmichael, tried to trap it. He'll go again, the number 45, playing just his second game in the AFL.
That's what I love about Ginnivan, though. He gives himself the opportunity to at least win the ball or a free kick. He puts himself in those dangerous situations. He asks the question of the tackler inside forward 50, where you know that's a free kick, there's a shot on goal.
Bit of Toby Green in there as well, maybe?
Yep, agreed.
On the move, side bottom through the contest. Didn't have to share it in the end, but Lipinski and Dacos did. Too strong for Bianco. Now the hunt is on. Jones got there first. Didn't want to overcommit to possession. Bianco kept at him, but he got past and through enough to get a kick away. Now Josh Dacos feeling it from Soligo and gone holding the ball.
Crowd's going nuts down here, guys. They reckon they've had a couple of raw runs with the umpiring decisions, but they are right behind the Adelaide football side at the moment. Whether that helps or not, we'll wait and see.
Soligo to half forward. Fogarty wasn't still there to really contest in the air. Murphy wasn't able to track it down, and it ends up going Collingwood's way. Lipinski getting it forward. Carmichael just edging it out wide, but it's a bit of a nothing kick in the end. Dawson takes territory, tries to put the pressure on the Collingwood defence. Murphy in the air. O'Brien, Howe has his way, just got the hand pass out. Cox, it's heavy going. Slippery. Schonberg, look good through the air, looks better now on the chest of Taylor Walker.
It's been good signs today, Bucks. The kick inside 50. They've shown more composure, Adelaide. It's been an issue for them with their kicking skills from their midfielders especially. That kick's been better today and their inside efficiency's been good.
Yeah, that's their 8th mark inside 50 to Collingwood's 5. So they have been able to hit those targets a little bit more. But what about that 20 seconds before that kick in? Like the contest was on a knife's edge. Could have gone either way.
For a third goal of the afternoon, Taylor Walker just going to shake back. Enough! He's had more influence on the scoreboard than anyone else on the ground. Taylor Walker, contract extended during the week, and still such an influential player. Adelaide lead by 9.
I think this speaks to the quality of the competition. I mean, we've got a team that are 5-11 against a team that are 11-5. Taylor Adams comes out, a little bit of leadership, an extra young player comes in, and it just tips the scales a little bit. Then you're at home for Adelaide. They're playing with the sort of energy that they've been able to display for a lot of the year. Great game.
It's a great game. 2 weeks ago against Melbourne, they pushed them really late here at the Adelaide Oval. So the Crows have been highly competitive up until last week. They've been able to bounce back with that great spirit they've shown previous to the loss against Hawthorn.
So it's a fierce battle, a fierce arm wrestle. Good luck trying to tip a winner. We've still got a quarter and a bit to go. Miller, ferocious tackle.
Right, yeah, their next layer has been the delivery inside 50. More polished today. That's why they're in front on the scoreboard.
Wants to go quickly, waiting at the back. Phil Thorpe.
Miller is one of those players, Carl. So he's one of the guys they need to lean on. Hasn't played a lot of footy last 2 years. One of these young up-and-comers who's got good foot skills. So they need to start to display that.
You don't get a stat for it, but Taylor Walker's work on Jeremy Howe here as this ball came in there's an argument to say that he was manhandled, but just to the right of screen there, just keeps him busy enough and doesn't give him a fly at it. It makes a big difference, and they're the things that are unsighted that make the opportunity easier for your teammates.
Lining up for his second goal of the afternoon, Riley Thilthorpe. Tex Walker says he's never seen a big guy so clean below his knees. He's showing that in the wet this afternoon. But he can't punish the Pies on the scoreboard on that occasion.
Dacos on the way out, lands it on the chest of Hinge.
Looked like he milked that a bit.
Yeah, it's gets 50 against Darcy Cameron, despite his look of disbelief. It's going to cost them a goal, you would imagine. Hinge has just kicked a couple of goals in his disrupted AFL career. It started with Brisbane. Can take it back to 16 points here. What an opportunity for the Adelaide Crows. Collingwood feeling the pain. Hinge lining up. Threads it through. Adelaide have made the break again.
I don't feel like any margin is unassailable for either side. I think with the momentum shifts we're seeing, at 16 points, which is a good margin to have at the moment. There wasn't a lot in that, was there?
Gee, that's a big call, isn't it?
I think that's an outlier, isn't it, today? I think the umpiring's been really good. You know, made a lot of
challenging conditions too.
That's an outlier, but an error, I would have thought.
It's been a good effort by Adelaide this quarter, so 6 inside 50s for 3 goals 2. Collingwood's had 13 inside 50s for 2 goals 1. Look at that efficiency going forward, so Matthew needs to be delighted with that. It's a part of their game that they've struggled with.
Cox stumps it into territory. Keys pounces. Laird, possession number 20. But Bianco can to the drop, takes the uncontested mark. Goes long into the heart of the 50. Big spoil from Butts. Goes the way of Elliott. Good desperation in there from Laird, sliding out, and it means they get the clearance. Getting down low, Maynard couldn't control it. Schonberg did, gets the handball away. It was a bit of a hospital handball. Schonberg goes again, stolen by Noble, short to Pendlebury. Wants to draw the defender, gives it off to Noble again. He goes deeper still with this entry. It's a bouncing ball. Can Myercheck control it? Tackled by Murray. Spills the way of Ginnivan. Handballs into space. No one's home. Who wants it? Getting down low and flicked out of there. Toe poke off the ground from Smith. It's going to come the way of Bianco. He spins back into trouble. He was collected and Laird's there. Millerer traps it. Keys, the fend off, and he goes. Now some confidence about their movement forward. Millerer hitting up Thilthorpe on the chest. They've got some real run and flow and attacking dare now, the Adelaide Crows. Thilthorpe takes off, has a dash, goes long. McHenry, one of the smallest players out there, bounced off his chest. Adelaide Crows fans want a free. There will be a free, but it won't be Adelaide's way.
So Adelaide are what they're doing really well is they're getting back in numbers to support their defence, and then they're running hard out of there. So that's why Collingwood have only scored 12 times from their entries.
Nick Murray.
From 42 entries, just 12 scores.
With the free kick.
Sorry, Kel.
Murphy out to the wing. Now, Hoskin Elliott. Head over the footy for Butts, and Elliott over him and into his back. Sense a little bit of frustration for Jamie Elliott today.
A good battle between Butts and Elliott.
He's worn him closely. Out to half forward. And Walker's experience and strength there prevails onto the left. He can get you either way. Maybe that was a bit extravagant. Lovely spin from Rusco. But then he had decisions to make. He kept Thilthorpe guessing, and the umpire had to duck to keep out of the way, or he'd go down with Peter Carey as an umpire takes the mark. A kick to Maynard, the dump handball to Pendlebury on the move. Is this the start of something for the Pies? Elliott had time and space to make the right call. The next one, Lipinski, Hamills slows. but doesn't stop their progress. Left foot kick across to Hoskin Elliott. He's got McCreary down the line. He goes longer and straighter, and you can see why. Majacek on his own in the goal scoop, but there's a free kick. There's a free kick.
Played us Shepherd, guys. That's what it was.
Against Johnson.
Did he need to do that? A young player, his first game, maybe a bit of inexperience coming in there. Just didn't need to be so strong with the block.
So Smith goes long and strong. Fogarty, usually so clean, and now Noble tackled by Saligo. It's Collingwood by 5 at quarter time. The Crows by 9 at half time. And now it's out to a 16-point lead. A couple of minutes to play before we hit the last change. Elliott, Lipinski, Carmichael goes for home. The second gamer is got it through. Carmichael.
Love this story. First career goal, Josh Carmichael, debut last week. Boy from Mildura was playing country footy last year. How good's the mid-season draft now? So country footy last year, he goes and plays in the SANFL, has a fantastic start to the year, gets picked up by Collingwood in the mid-season draft, plays his first game last week. He's a big bull of a midfielder, inside midfielder. What a great thrill.
It was 1 of 3. Johnson, Carmichael, Noble.
So Josh Carmichael from the Moorbeen Magpies in the Sunraysia League. He's only played a handful of games in the SANFL at West Adelaide Bucks, and he was picked up in that mid-season draft. It's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, well, John Noble's from West Adelaide as well, as long as Will Snelling 3 or 4 years back. So it's been a happy hunting ground, and we're seeing a lot of AFL games played by players that have come in mid-season.
It's been a great addition.
Back to 10. No awareness there for Barry. That side bottom had him in his sights. Advantage paid. Big moment. Big game player. Scott Pendlebury all the way. The calm and grace of Scott Pendlebury. In game number 350, as always, he delivers.
That was Dad in the stands, beer in hand, punching with the other, punching the air with the other arm.
And well done to young Johnson too. He got the block right that time. He was faced with the same challenges moments earlier when he gave the free kick away with that easy mind-check goal. Let's just have a look at this. So how good we're. I think even Adelaide supporters might have been cheering for this. Just one of the great. Maybe not cheering for it, Hutto, but just the respect this man has in the wider football world. That's a great moment for Pendles in his 350th. And well done to Johnson as well for the block.
Really important, those last couple of goals, because they for Collingwood, because you know that they're going to come home hard for their captain.
Here he is again. Can he lift his side? Pendlebury in the centre. It's his first goal for the season. Hinge does well to elude a couple and then bombs it on that left. They're going to fly from all angles. Walker even got up high. Dacos, Maynard, desperate. Bianco, Nick Dacos again. He's got room and space. He gives it off to Lipinski. They want to bring it through the corridor. A little out of sorts with that handball. Put Maynard under the pump, but they've got the numbers. Hoskin Elliott back to Maynard. Usually good by that left foot, and he is. Moving it quickly to Crisp, to Nick Dacos, who started this off halfback. Just dabs it into space. Really going to make it difficult. Of course it gets to Josh. Of course he goes the snap.
Usually pressing late in this quarter.
Usually he'd put it through.
Starting to really dominate the territory. And moving the ball with ease as well.
They've had 20 inside 50s in this third quarter, Brownie. 20-9.
And only 4 goals to 3, Roo.
Yeah, 4-2 to 3-2, in fact. Last 50 seconds. Collingwood finishing strongly. And again, the kick hacked in from Rusco. Elliott amongst 3 Crows. On the outside, ready and waiting with side bottom. And he got him buried just a fraction high. So those couple of big goals. Scott Pendlebury never been goalless in a season before. And now, with that important goal, that remains the case. Adelaide hanging on to a 3-point lead. These twilight fixtures in Adelaide so often provide thrilling finishes. And it looks like we're headed for another again this afternoon.
Just on Sam Berry tackle watch, he's had 14. So
dropped off.
And Rory Laird's had 13.
They're both right up there at the top of the tackle table in the AFL.
Another one to watch is Braden Maynard going for the smother record.
Yeah, well, Braden Maynard's had 11 tackles. He's 1% as a rider.
He's had 5 smothers. The record is 6 in a game.
Stop it.
Great stat. Coaches love that, don't they, Bucks, that stat?
Yes, mate. All the 1%ers.
Led to the wing, but no further. And so, a collective breath around the Adelaide Oval. More admiration for that man, Scott Pendlebury. His team will have to come from behind to honour the legacy. It's the Crows by 3 points. The Pies are...
Is right.
Yeah, it's on the back of pressure too. Great pressure, Cal. The last 2 weeks, their pressure rating in the last quarters has both been over 200 in their wins against Gold Coast and North Melbourne. And the last 5 minutes of that quarter, they started to get back on top of that because of work rate.
So the Crows are desperate. They just want 4 precious points, but this is critical that the Pies keep winning. Their percentage is the lowest in the top 8. As bursting out of the centre is Laird. Laird goes long. Darcy Moore relieving defensive marks.
It's the first contested mark for the day for Collingwood.
Wasn't a great kick to Riley Thilthorpe by Rory Laird there, boys.
Elliot Ginnivan has been worn like a glove this afternoon. If it wasn't Paddy Parnell doing the job, then it's McHenry, and Hamill's there as well. Berry. An up and under. Saligo able to fist that one down to Hinge. A high ball. Who's home? Thilthorpe sets himself. A chance for Murphy. He's already kicked a couple from the pocket. He's tackled by Noble. That was desperate stuff by John Noble.
If I had to read Pendle's sort of actions and his lips at that point, I think he's talking about getting off the line and shifting the ball away from down the line a little bit, especially in the back half, to try and beat Adelaide's pressure. It might be something that that we see them try to control the game a little bit more in that first instance from the back half.
Cameron the tap, but Walker was ready. He just couldn't quite grasp it. It's back over and out again.
How's the conditions, Roo? Still pretty slippery?
Well, it's still slippery. It's not windy, though, at the moment, so I don't think it's favouring either end. It's just wet on the grass, so still similar conditions.
Pendlebury watching Laird at the front of this. There they are. Pendlebury didn't want to overcommit on the tackle. Walker just stood there. He didn't really try and get rid of the football.
On the ball.
Yeah, that was quite strange. He just wants another ball up because he reckons he's a chance, but he keeps being beaten to it by the taller and more experienced ruckman in Cameron. Hacked it out of there. Hinch tried to track it down, lost control of the footy. Elliott used all his muscle just to eke out a handball to Josh Dacos. On the curl, side bottom, saw it was going to drop. Berry did enough to lose ball Ginnivan. Handball in front of himself towards the line. And despite the calls from the crowd for deliberate, it's a throw in.
A lot of the numbers look great for Collingwood. They've had 29 front half turnovers. They've had 99 tackles. They're on the cusp of 100 there. There's a lot going right for them, but the Crows doing a lot right too to stay in this contest. Amazing intensity inside.
Adelaide by 3, sweeping on at Dacos to half forward Hamill.
Surprisingly, Bucks, normally the Pies' defence hold up very well. They don't let opposition score when they go inside 50 against, but today the Crows have done that well.
Hinge, tackle, gets it to O'Brien, throws it on the boot.
Well, the Crows have scored 7 goals from 21 front half turnovers. So from the attacking mid area, so basically not in their forward 50, but in the midfield, the forward midfield area, they've turned the ball over 21 times and gone back and kicked 7 goals. That's a great return. Yeah.
Special comments, Nathan Buckley, Jonathan Brown. What a pleasure to have them both in the commentary box with us this afternoon. This one's going the distance. And the Pies, as Nathan Buckley said, Pendlebury said, let's go, use the corridor. A little give and go. Not for the first time. The veteran and the rookie combine again for a second goal to Nick Dacos.
Oh, how good was the kick? And Bucks just mentioned moments ago that Pendlebury was speaking about maybe changing lanes or changing angles when you attack with your kick. Have a look at that kick. It's an absolute doozy, straight up the centre. Well done to do the bit of waxing going on in the centre of the ground just to get it over the top, draw the Adelaide defenders up.
We've got 2 of the smarter players in the field, and they split one defender. And Sam Berry's laid 15 tackles, but he has given no chance there.
That just playing their own little game there, weren't they, those two?
Get the numbers up.
Piggy in the middle.
And it gives the Pies the lead by 3, and they've kicked the last 3 goals. So the Adelaide Crows under real pressure now. Side bottom starting in the centre square. Just looking to will it forward again. It's a bit of a roadblock. And Brodie Smith, and you can see the aggression of the Pies.
How's Nick Dacos's performance in his first year? He looks like he's been out there for 10 years. Just doesn't make mistakes, perfect technique, gets it done under pressure.
Saligo, the Crows' response. Miller wasn't certain where to go, called on Hinge.
He didn't have any players forward for him.
Now back it goes to Walker. I think it worked out what he was going to do with it. Forgot to take it cleanly in the difficult conditions. Crisp, a hand pass, and then Hope. Noble could tie momentarily. Saligo got him, but that was high.
I think there was 3v3 in front of the ball, Brandy, and if you're one of those, you're saying, well, just kick it to space and let me go. And I think they missed an opportunity there to go forward.
Yeah, too much looking for the perfect play, weren't they?
Noble up along the wing. Cameron was the target. O'Brien and then Hamill, Murray, Ginnivan threw the head back that time, and the tackle was very clever by Berry. Again, didn't overcommit.
He might have got a few free kicks earlier on the year, but I reckon he's going to get harshly done by in the run home, isn't he? Doesn't look like he's getting any favours.
Berry to half forward, playing in front, Taylor Walker. Miller ran straight into Scott Pendlebury.
They're over 100 tackles for the day.
That's Scott Pendlebury's 12th, so you don't have to, you need to contribute in all areas, and he's prepared to do the hard yards.
3-point ball game. Carmichael zinging around in there. There's Nick Dacos, 2 goals, 31 disposals, 7 more than any of his teammates. It's quite extraordinary. Carmichael, goal on debut. McCreary. And as far as Laird, got the handball from Miller, goes towards Walker. Hard ball to control right now. Pendlebury can do it. Here's Dacos, Josh Dacos, does well, beats a couple crisp, but comes back to Josh Dacos. He gives it to Lipinski, and through they go, the centre corridor again. The run and flow and carry of Crisp, looking for Elliott, waiting at the back, McCreary. He overruns it. He's forced to tackle, but breathes a sigh of relief.
Gee, their ball use through the middle of the ground all day has looked dangerous when they've gone there, Collingwood. They haven't done it that often, but when they get a little feeling they can get through there, they go for it, and they've gone coast to coast several times.
Myercheck in the ruck, riding up over at the top of his back, getting a beautiful tap down, and Laird will be the beneficiary of this. He goes short, stabs it to McHenry.
So the Pies have got a spare back, or it's the extra defender in Jeremy Howe there. That's why they're reluctant to kick it long.
McHenry, classy sidestep on Rusco, the player on the mark, over the head of Phil Thorpe. Crisp again, having some really crucial touches in this final term. He's bumped over the boundary, and that'll be holding the ball. Phil Thorpe pounces on it. So where's the run? Where's the leads? There's not a lot of movement inside 50. So he's just forced to kick it to the hot spot. McAdam with the fly. Pendlebury's there to save the day. Handballs to Dacos. This time it's Josh. Spears that pass, waiting for it to bounce. Murray happy to thump it over.
Gee, Pendlebury is just oozing class in this last quarter. Obviously that he wants to win his 350th. He is doing everything he can to do it.
Phil Thorpe in the ruck there was O'Brien in the ruck now, but Phil Thorpe was the ruckman. Darcy Cameron to drop back. That's the problem with your ruckman on slow plays, putting the ball inside forward 50.
Cameron the tap. Lipinski knew exactly where he had help. Carmichael almost kept it in. Josh Dacos just away there saying, well, that was an option. Collingwood by 3. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Now it's plateaued for the moment. Game there for the taking. O'Brien wasn't going to get past that time. Saligo getting better and better around the footy at the level. High ball, and Phil Thorpe knew what was coming from behind. Howe doing what he had to do to get it over and out.
Darcy Riley.
Tension growing as we get closer and closer to the end. On a wet and windy afternoon. Lights taking effect. Grey skies. And the Pies by 3. Cameron, duel that time against O'Brien, who won the tap. Pendlebury just got it to boot. Elliott took it knowing they were going to take him. And inevitably, it's back over the line and out of bounds.
At that last stoppage, it was basically man on man. No wing support or sweeping players for either team. Basically 4v4 across the front of the stoppage. As you can see, there's no sweepers. Each team prepared to play even-numbered football. So whoever wins contested ball is going to get the opportunity on territory.
It's tight, it's tense. Just one goal so far in this quarter. Carmichael taken high by Berry. That's not a legal tackle. He's up to 16, but it's the Pies with possession. Josh Dacos. Cox is the target, doesn't get near him, and then pouncing on it is Duday. That's almost a dangerous tackle by McCreary. He's dumped into the turf.
Mason.
Jamie Elliott trotting back to the goal square. O'Brien, Laird. Well, he's been tackled, he gets a kick away. Noble, he's got support, Pies and numbers. It was Dacos and then Cameron from a standing start. Cox couldn't quite. And he wins a free kick, and it's advantage to the Pies. And Collingwood continue to stand up and soak up whatever the Crows throw at them at the moment.
She's a run out of superlatives here, Bucks, for this man, Nick Dacos. So I said in the pre-game that the last I can remember having such a big impact as a midfielder, a smaller player in his first year was Chris Judd, almost 20 years ago now. He's just been amazing. There's the free kick there to Cox. Play on there, good advantage, good finish there. They're just building pressure now, Collingwood, able to start to win contest. They've put an enormous amount of pressure on Adelaide all day. Is it starting to take its toll?
This is just extraordinary, what we've seen from this young man, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the expectations, the name he carries. Excellent start to his career in the first half of the year, but
Gone to another level.
Gone to another level, and maybe another again now as Collingwood go forward. Adelaide need answers, but they are watching Collingwood as McCreary almost joins in on the act. The tails off to the right.
Bucks, had he played half-back before this year? We know he's a gun midfielder in the underage, but starting at half-back, he probably was even played out of position, wasn't he?
Well, I don't think he didn't play a lot there through the TAC, but in match practice when he came in with us early last year, he was playing a bit off there because we just wanted the ball in his hands to use it, and Craig McRae obviously seeing that and has used that as a building block for him.
So Dawson to Fogarty. Can they get a quick reply here, the Crows? McAdam. Plenty of numbers. Laird racks up another one. Big fly. Couldn't quite pull it down was Berry. What an afternoon he's had. McHenry. A fumble under the pressure for Keys. Ginnivan gets involved. They scrap. They fight. Walker. Walker.
Trouble.
Isn't that rule a bit funny? He's nowhere near the ball. Can that be holding the ball?
Well, the umpire deemed it was. Oh, a gimme. A gimme for Tex.
Wow.
Against the milestone man. Never usually see him flustered. But just the frustrations. This is how much it means to him. They're bubbling to the surface for Scott Pendlebury.
He's probably asking the question that I just asked about the holding the ball.
Well, that's exactly what it was. And yeah, it's a fine line, it's a threshold.
Walker cashes in from the goal square. He's got 4, and we're not done yet.
So let's have a look. Gavin over the ball, and then it's out the back. So
Yeah, I think it's
No,
policy.
it's not out the back, it's in Tex Walker's hands.
it's in his possession.
But the umpire saw the initial movement of trying to keep the ball in by Ginnivan, and then has penalised, or Ginnivan has penalised him for the ball not coming out beyond that.
Yeah.
Tex thinks it's funny. He's kicked his 4th goal. 50 as well, made sure of it. And it can change everything so quickly. Still 12 and a half minutes to go. As the crowd sense a rise after that from the Crows. Josh Dacos trying to slice it forward. A second time, McCreary buzzing around. Elliott, Carmichael hunts a goal on the long kick. It just stays in and crept.
Good result there for the Pies.
Over the line.
It's a great strength of theirs. Is these forward 50 stoppages.
So where does the danger lie?
Carmichael's having a good game. Up to 22 disposals, the mid-season draft boy.
Cox goes back towards the goal square with Myercheck. Cameron with a lot of space in front. They're all on the move. Neither ruckman got to the ball. Carmichael couldn't get it to boot. And instead it's Jones with the outward bound kick. McAdam tied up with Murphy, and it's back over the line again and out of bounds. 12 minutes to go.
He's a bit old school too, Roo. He's had 24 touches, 24 and 0. No handballs. That's not the modern game.
Well, he's had an unorthodox pathway, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's got the Mildura haircut too.
You're kidding, Roo.
So Mason into the ruck. Side bottom tackle by Schonberg.
Well, it's not the Adelaide one. That would be a mullet.
It's everywhere, the mullet.
High drama, intense pressure. Less than 12 to play. Ginnivan tries to get involved. McCreary throws his body on the line. McHenry squeezes out a kick. And Murphy happy to see it over. They win a little bit of distance here, the Crows.
Great game. Great game.
Great matchup as well. With Patrick Parnell in his 6th game from Albury. They call him Pistol because his little legs pump like a pistol.
Parnell.
Pistol, Parnell and Ginnivan. That's a game within a game. Here they are on cue. Pistol's got those legs pumping. Ginnivan, can he do something? He's got to be careful here. There's the frustration from Jack.
Dacos has just dropped off at the back here. Keep an eye on Josh.
There's the free kick.
Yeah. Collingwood want that sweeping player. Adelaide were the ones that dropped a midfielder out to sit in front of Collingwood sweeping winger for a period. Interesting to see how that plays out in stoppages through the midfield.
Breaking news, Jack Ginnivan wins a free kick. First time this afternoon, but it's repelled by Laird. Strong attack on the footy by McAdam. McHenry, clever. Here's a chance for Fogarty. He's going to send it back inboard. McAdam, Schonberg's run into a brick wall. Lipinski got him. And here's Nick Dacos. Steady, poised, calm. Cox, clever. Carmichael takes off. What's he got ahead of him? It's 3-on-3. Myercheck gets there. He can't get there in time. Coming through. Duday still there under the pump. Murray goes to ground. Jamie Elliott fires out the handball. Lipinski. He's going to have to beat a couple. He beats one, he beats two. He does well, in fact. Rusco got time to assess the options and spears the pass into the debutant. And taking the mark for Collingwood is Ash Johnson.
How good's the pressure been? How good's, well, for both teams, how good's that man Braden Maynard been? He's done a lot of 1%ers today. High tackle count, high smothers. He was the reason they won it back at half back when it looked like Adelaide were going to move into their forward 50 once again. Collingwood go back the other way, and they're good enough to find the target inside 50.
What a moment.
Waiting for the clock.
What a moment for the 24-year-old. His mum's made the trek from Halls Creek. 10-hour drive to Darwin. The flight to Adelaide. She's in the crowd. He's playing against his brother. He sends it on its way. It's curling. It's curling. It's curling for a dream debut for Ash Johnson.
Great call, Carl, and what a great finish.
That's a great kick with a wet ball, Bucks.
Yeah, hung it out on the right-hand side, and it came all the way back to pretty much split the middle. This bit of play has just been huge. So Braden Maynard, he's not going to die wondering. He's a beauty. Whenever the ball's in his area, the intensity's high, but you're going to see a lot of opportunities in this next 10 minutes through the middle of the field. A lot of errors that you don't think should be there, and opportunities to score. It was a great effort there by Collingwood to find the composure to be able to finish and give Johnson that chance to kick a really good goal.
Oh, what a moment, what a finish. Pies by 10.
Last in the competition for goal kicking accuracy last month, the Pies.
Not today. Laird. Hamill. Just didn't get enough of the footy. And it tails off towards the line. Bianco happy to play the escort. 84 plays 74. Past the halfway mark of this last quarter. 3 goals to 1 in Collingwood's favour. Swiped away by Cox to Dacos, who's kicked 2 of those goals in the last quarter. 3 for the game. He's going to be penalised for that.
Is that his first mistake he's ever made?
I think we actually saw one earlier today, didn't we, Roo, in the wet. Parnell, but what a player. Cox, left high. Philthorpe matched him. Walker, 3 pies. Bit of debris on the way. And he's penalised this time.
Gee, Carmichael's a goer.
Yeah. And still side bottom. Calling on his teammates to get to the right places. Bianco had a decent outing today. Kicks along the wing.
So both coaches can't be disappointed with their team's application to their defensive part of the game. The tackle count is extraordinary from both teams, 110 to 96. Collingwood's favour.
Bianco up to 19 disposals as Noble's kick goes to half forward. Cox took a couple with him, and it goes back over the line and out of bounds.
Collingwood's all-time highest tackle count is 116. It was 6 years ago in 2016, so they're on target to break that too, Brownie. The pressure's been elite from both sides throughout the whole contest.
It's been an enthralling tactical and physical contest, this one.
Yeah, they'll be sore tonight, Cal. Both teams.
And tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, Pendles will need that celebratory beer.
He might need more than one if they can get over the line here. Still a while to play. Jones slips over, regathers, able to get it to Smith. High down the line, fly, the leap, McAdam. He's got a good leap on him. Schonberg goes to ground. He's dispossessed. Running onto it is Saligo, who continues to get better and better with each game. Fogarty just a nice little nudge there by the experience of Hal. He's got Bianco for support. Wheels around onto the left, and look at that kick. Awkward half volley, but it's well controlled by McCreary. Puts plenty of air in that kick. It's well weighted in the end. A pinpoint pass to side bottom.
Just a couple of, there's just an instance there. So Saligo just needed to look sideways there to find his free teammates, go inside 50 with more efficiency.
Cox with the run and the jump and the mark. So Nick Dacos just getting a warning here as part of this new interpretation to get out of the area. Mason Cox. Just going to go long and strong. Johnson with the leap, Meyer check, not quite, got boot to ball, still it's a live ball here for the Pies. Wheeling round, can he bury it from the pocket? You bet he can, Jamie Elliott.
It's been a really mature response from the side that have got really strong leadership but have got real confidence in the way they go about things. 4 quarters of Collingwood football has been pretty hard to beat throughout the last, probably the last 2/3 of this season. But to be able to stay with it long enough and withstand Adelaide's pressure and put themselves a 16-point deficit when Adelaide had a 16-point lead late in the third has been a great effort.
They play a high-energy game, Bucks, the Pies, so it does put pressure on the opposition to be able to withstand the 4 quarters of that pressure and to be able to get through late in games. I think that's a big reason why they're finishing off games strongly. Here's the live ladder now. Collingwood equal up there with Fremantle. Fremantle to play tonight, of course.
Time becoming an issue for the Crows. Keys tumbles it forward. Important hands from Crisp, and he followed through. And then the soccer, but it went straight to Hinge, so they can get an entry. They've got a couple of ducked in behind. Murphy's one, McAdam's another. McAdam the hands, Murphy the feet, the fast feet. She's not over yet. He snaps another goal. That's his third. And it's back to 10 points.
He's been good today. He came back into the team. So they're able to, again, make a good contest there. Just going back, McAdam has been able to have an impact in the air today. Good finish there. That's what they require, the Adelaide small forwards. When you're playing with 3 or 4 big men down there, those little blokes need to get to work.
It broke a run of control from the Collingwood back six. The last 30 minutes, they really have controlled the game. They've won a lot of one-on-one contests and looked more impenetrable than they were early in the game. And Crows need to find some teeth and find those opportunities to kick this score to be able to get back in the game.
Here they go again, bursting out of the centre. It's Keys. Can they get a mark deep inside 50? Here's a chance for the Crows. Tex Walker snaps a goal. Walker's the man for the moment.
That's come against the trend, hasn't it, Brownie? The last 2 entries, 2 goals after
It's from centre bounce, Bucks.
and that's how, if you want to close a margin, get some centre bounce clearances and get a centre bounce goal. So that was really good play. I mean, Jeremy Howard looked like he had a chance on this, but once again, just enough body, just enough pressure by Walker to be able to bring that ball to ground, and then the first to react to it. 5 goals is a great return for any forward, and for a big fella. Great game so far.
Hasn't hurt them as much today, but this was an area of the ground or the game for Collingwood where North Melbourne hurt them last week, was from centre bounce.
5 goals, 1 for Taylor Walker. What a performance. They've kicked the last 2 just when it looked like the Pies were on their way to an 8th consecutive victory. Now it's all closed down in the centre, and these momentum surges in this game continue. 4 points between these two sides. The ruckman entangled. Cox broke clear to get the tap. Elliott hunted down by Parnell. Now it's Smith and Dacos. Taking no chances. A handball to Dawson. Took the territory but blazed away a little and will pay the penalty. Ginnivan's trying to make more of it. Now he's helped up just in case, or was he? Maybe not, from Jordan Dawson.
I'd stay away from Jack Ginnivan if Collingwood's got the ball. Don't want to give away a free kick at this stage.
Crisp to the 50. Can they get beyond? Murray, the desperate spoil. Fosking hard. It was Hoskin Elliott. Elliott was there as well. Murray takes the ball. Myercheck takes him. And as we've seen so often today, then it's a pile-on. 5 minutes 30. Cox. O'Brien. Dacos snaps it up. Josh. Elliott puts it back into the maze of players. Keys with his head over the football. Stands up. And now it's the umpire's turn again.
Whether it's Ginnivan or any player at the moment, the umpires look reluctant to play that too high free kick in any tackle contest.
Here's Laird. He's had 30 this afternoon. He's not going anywhere on this occasion. Pies fans are reaching for the heart tablets again. 5 of their 7 wins have been less by 2 goals. 3 of the 7 by less than a goal. We've got 5 minutes to play in this ball game. There's 4 points the margin. Saligo's handballed it straight to Ginnivan in the opposition. Goes long, 2-on-2 contest. It's thumped down. Myercheck, usually cool in these situations. Great smother. Great 1%er. I think it was from Murray. It spills the way of Berry. Berry's just going to hack it into space. And the Crows happy to see that over. It'll be a boundary throw in at half forward for Adelaide. Look at the fans. They've been sitting out in the wet and the cold and the wind doing the hard yards. Warm applause from every angle. There's the Murray smother. It's the 1%ers in these final stages that are going to get you over the line. Cox swats at it. Laird again. And Walker had to get down low. Chance here for Millerer. Schonberg puts his body on the line. Keys goes without it. Charging through is Dacos. Ginnivan, Nick Dacos. Weaving. And then kicking straight down the centre corridor. McCreery, the Adelaide boy, his first game on Adelaide Oval. Tumbles it, bounces it. The foot race is on. Who's going to get there first? Butts under the pump. Butts does well. He gets his kick away. And the player taking the mark is Smith in front of McCreery for the Adelaide Crows.
He ponders. He searches on the horizon. Locates a couple of teammates in O'Brien and Saligo. who battle away manfully, and then over the top crisp.
He's a player, Saligo. They found one there, the Adelaide Crows.
Collingwood by 4. Ginnivan up around the ball regularly in this last quarter. Cox against O'Brien. Is that going to be paid? No, it's not.
Gee, that was high,
Is
wasn't
he
it?
paying the Ginnivan tax, like the Toby Green tax? Laird was aware of it, snapped his arm back very quickly, but I still think the free kick may have been given.
Cox decisively. Hamill on guard. McCreary doing what he does so well. Dacos got the hands clear. Lipinski. And that time Pendlebury not allowed to escape, but in some ways it works in Collingwood's favour. They keep it in tight. The numbers swelling around. This tackle fest continues. 122 to 102. The important number is Collingwood by 4. Cox to Nick Dacos. And again, he's all wrapped up. And again, the umpire will try and break it up.
Collingwood are getting numbers behind the ball now, which you'd understand in the last 3 minutes. Pendlebury's going back, and also Murphy's back.
O'Brien into space, side bottom, controls it, can't get a clean ball away, although Pendlebury's there. Noble, and then it comes back to Ginnivan, just dribbles that. Only as far as the Adelaide Crows. Kick comes to half forward. Walker sets himself. And Murray spoils over the boundary.
Yeah, so Mychek's gone back as well. So now Nick Murray's gone with him. So Collingwood trying to really flood the Adelaide forward 50.
Yeah, Adelaide will be trying to equalise and try and take those extra numbers away. They've loved even-numbered contests for the majority of the game, but Nick Dacos just pushed up as a forward into the midfield and sent Pendlebury back behind the ball for that instance.
O'Brien thumps it over the arc, but now a 50-50 ball. Pendlebury pinning around in there. Lipinski emerges with it to a one-on-one contest. Butts does well on Elliott. Hamill was able to swoop, give it off to Duday. He was pushed as he got his kick away, and it affected the kick. The tackle by McCreary. It'll be a boundary throw
Great
in.
pressure again. That just sums up Collingwood's day. It's been magnificent. Over 120 tackles, extraordinary number.
Tackle fest, slug fest in the wet.
And high scoring relative to conditions as well, Cal. It's been great to watch.
Still got a bit more to watch, Brownie, on the edge of your seat alongside Nathan Buckley, as it's going to dribble over the boundary line here, or do they keep it in play? It's not trying to score a try in Origin. It'll be a ball up. So the Crows' victims this season include the Tigers, the Bulldogs and the Power. Can they claim the Pies? All those teams desperate for these 4 points to stay in the 8.
Yes, plenty around the country watching it. They don't support either of these two sides. The 4 points so precious. The Dacoses combine again. Duday, Johnson, what a debut. Dacos ordering those around, sets it up for Hoskin Elliott. The standoff, it sits there precariously. McHenry, Murphy, what's he doing there? And it's over the line and out of bounds. 2 minutes remaining. That's at Collingwood's end. On the hill they are watching, heart in mouth. They need to get the ball from one end to the other. Collingwood fans are used to this. It drops short. Cox tried to improvise. Johnson almost. They can afford to concede one, the Crows, but no more. It's back in the hands of Brodie Smith. And we're under 2 minutes. There's a bit of debris at the top of the goal square. As Johnson.
Jeez, he's played a good game, I know.
What a time for cramp.
I don't know why Brodie Smith actually called for that. He's actually now giving the opposition a chance to set up their defence. Yeah, would have been easy, just like leave one down, get the ball in and then come back.
It's easy from here, Bucks. I need to remind you of that every now and then.
Thanks, Hutto. Tell me a little bit more about your career, mate.
Smith goes straight down the corridor while you two fight it out. I'm going to call the action because we're glued to this one. Josh Dacos, which way does it bounce? The Sharon's so unpredictable. Butts tackling Elliott as the rain starts teeming down. Can the Pies hold on for 1 minute and 37 seconds? This is gut-wrenching for the Crows. It would be cruel if they were to lose it from here. They've been so brave all afternoon, but so too have the Pies. Mason Cox to Hoskin Elliott. Can he fire it out to McCreary? No, he can't.
So Collingwood had 126 tackles now, and they just Adelaide haven't been able to get any run through the middle, and they need to find some way to break the line here.
O'Brien. It's a fumble. It's a fumble. It's a slippery ball to pick up. Schonberg was legged. He wins the free kick.
It's the big chance.
Out to the wing. He goes searching for Jones. He takes it. Charging ahead. Deep to full forward. Taylor Walker. He's given so much. Is there anything left? It slides over the line to relative safety for Collingwood, but there's still 61 seconds to go.
Jesus.
Matthew Nicks watching from ground level today, trying to keep calm. Now it's up to the players.
Those kicks carried, Hutto. There must be downwind there a little.
5 points the margin on a knife edge. Taylor Walker rucking and rolling onto the left. Murphy, side bottom. Howe, Nick Dacos. As important as any of his snaps, he got it forward, but only as far as Smith. One of the longest kicks in the Adelaide team. It's a hot second at the top of the square. There were plenty of claims. Schonberg, Hoskin, Elliott. It squeezes outside 50. Tracked down by Hamill. These are desperate times. Desperate measures required. They all converge. McAdam tried his darndest. Now it's Noble. To the boundary line, no. Yes, it's over. And there's 20 seconds to go.
His Chase Jones could have almost let that roll out. It may have been deliberate.
21 seconds for the ultimate result for Scott Pendlebury.
Adelaide with an 8-man forward line. Equalised every defender.
Just a kick and a bit away. There's the bit from Berry, but it's out of bounds on the full. And now Collingwood only have 12 seconds to negotiate. And the ball is in safe hands. Safe hands of the 17-gamer, Nick Dacos. 3 goals. He's blazing unbelievable trails. A smother on the wing. Another Collingwood thriller. If you only watch one team this year, make it Collingwood. It's Scott Pendlebury's moment. An unbelievable career. Helps his side to an 8th consecutive win, and there could be more glory ahead for this amazing Collingwood player. He could be the best ever who has worn that Collingwood jumper. But all that matters now is the 4 points as his legacy grows. A family man, and they can all join in.
Yeah, wife Alex and kids dancing in the rain. Celebrations galore. The Iceman, the milestone man, Scott Pendlebury, the captain. Greatness in the stadium this afternoon, watching him go about it. He salutes in his win, and we salute him. What a career it's been. 350